Hey everybody, happy Saturday. If you guys can hear me, let me know in the comments because I'm trying to fix my volume right now. If you guys can hear me, just say yes in the comments, please. Okay, good. So I want to tell you guys thank you so much for attending the show. I know it's a Saturday, so I'm not going to keep you guys. This ain't going to be no long, drawn out show, but I do want to give people the opportunity to also speak. So I will drop the link in a few minutes into the comments. So if you guys want to get onto the panel, I want you guys to be able to speak as well. But the main point of this quick show today is I want to address these young girls who are looking older than their age. And it's not just regular women out here. These are kids, okay? These are kids that are probably 13, 14, 15, saying that they're 19, 20, and 21. I've seen it. I've actually had to call CPS a couple of times because I also caught it, even from Illinois. And even though I don't work for the state anymore, in child services, I still hold myself to the morals and the standards that I signed up for, and I still do that to this day. So if I see something that's not right, I'm definitely going to report it, and I don't care what people say. I did want to update some of those who didn't see my social media on the young lady who lied about sexual assault. You can't say the R word now on social media. You will be banned. You will be blocked. So I have to say sexual assault, but I actually mean the R word. And I know you guys know what I'm talking about. The young lady is now in a relationship, or back in a relationship, and the clout is starting to fizzle. So again, when I told everybody that she was lying about being assaulted, no one believed me. I came with receipts. People still didn't believe me, but now she's in a relationship. So, like I said, the victims that I work with, they don't move the way she moved. I've never seen a sexual assault victim, go on Facebook and tell everybody what happened instead of telling the cops. I've never seen a victim tell everyone on Facebook, I'll do a live and address your questions, where the cops had questions and she didn't address those. So again, these young ladies need to stop lying about their age, and they need to stop lying about sexual assault, because you're damaging good men out there who didn't ask for this type of thing to happen to them. So in her case, people were assuming that they knew who she was talking about, but it was nobody that she was talking about because it was fake. But people started dropping names, and that's why I felt like I had to do something to make sure she was telling the truth. In fact, she wasn't. So that was the update on the girl who lied about sexual assault 2 weeks ago. She did lie. I called it. If people still want to call me a snitch, I don't give a damn. But you see these men that are going to prison and doing time for stuff that they didn't do. And I don't think it's fair. And women like her will never be held accountable. Instead, women like me will have to submit their ID to Instagram just to get their page back. So nowadays, if you call someone out, you have to be very careful, because you will be shut down on social media for telling the truth. So that was the update on the girl who lied about sexual assault. It was, in fact, a lie to promote her YouTube music, like I called weeks ago. Okay. Um, but today, what I want to discuss is I did see something else on Facebook, and it was a mother who asked Facebook to help her locate her 13-year-old daughter. I did not post it on my Facebook because I don't want to lose my Facebook. So all I can do is tell you guys what I saw, and hopefully you guys can find it. So she told her Facebook that her 13-year-old daughter got into a car with a black man. Okay. The picture she used was an innocent 13-year-old child, had no makeup on, had some braids that were pulled back. She looked innocent. Okay. Then some hours later, mom posted a new picture saying, "This is the guy who had my daughter. My daughter's home safe." Okay. Now, when I went to the mom's page, I noticed that she had three daughters and a son. All her daughters are young. They all had lace wigs on with baby hair. They had makeup. They had piercings. Their tongue sticking out. It was disgusting. The 13-year-old daughter that got into the car with the 22-year-old black man, there were pictures of that same 13-year-old daughter with lace wigs, baby hair, full face of makeup, bending over in a skirt. She didn't look 13 at all. So mom tried to paint the picture like the 22-year-old black man was this villain who took her daughter by force when her fast ass daughter got into the car, lied about her age, and went with that guy. I'm more concerned on why mom is not being a mom in the household. You see the behaviors at the house and you're not addressing the behaviors. Instead, to make up, for being a bad parent, you lie and tell people, oh, she was kidnapped or taken, you know, um, and that wasn't the case. So what it did was it made people question what she was saying. And like I said, when you see the pictures on her mother's page, you see that she loves her kids, but she allows them to do what they want. And I think that that's a problem in today's society. You got these young girls who are, telling men that they're 18 and they're really maybe 14 or 15. And women will throw out well, he can ask for her ID. These same women are frequenting adult places because they have fake IDs. It's not hard, you guys. Maybe back in the day when we were in high school, you would get the fake ID that looked nothing like you, right? Technology has advanced, people. You can get a good fake ID that looks exactly like you, but the age is a lie. So when you're asking these men to go around and say, oh, let me see your ID, they can show them an ID that might say 20, right? And then what's the next step? Should they ask for the birth certificate? Who carries that around in their purse, right? So you guys make up excuses for these fast ass girls out here sleeping with these older men. Then when they get caught, they scream sexual assault, right? And mom already knew she was fast. Mom even, was around when she was doing the behaviors. But then when the cops get involved, you play stupid. Oh, I didn't know. Not my daughter, right? This needs to stop. I think it's disgusting how you go on TikTok and you see a mother and daughter, shaking their asses and this is my bestie. Your bestie. When I grew up, I wasn't best friends with my mom. I wasn't, because whenever I got out of line, she popped the shit out of me. I was the daughter, she was my mother. It was nothing about us being friends, going to the club together. That's the new thing today. You got a mother and daughter that are best friends, and that's why your daughter's fast. That's why your daughter's out here hoeing. That's why your daughter's out here with multiple kids, because you didn't put your foot down. And then these same women keep those daughters away from the dad because they think they can do better. So I didn't call out the dads because I do not know many dads that will let their daughter step out the house with a lace wig with baby hair, 9 gallons of makeup and a mini skirt. I don't know any dads like that. And when I worked for the state, I never saw it. I saw moms promoting that behavior. Let her wear makeup. Lipstick is okay at 13. It's just lipstick. Oh, she can get those fake nails. It's just nails. It's not just that. Those are adult things that you do as an adult. So I think that this is something that women need to do better with. Stop making it seem like you and your daughter are friends, because you're not. It's not like that, ladies. You got to do better. Being her best friend isn't going to make her open up to you. It's going to make her take advantage of you. So then when you catch her getting in a car with a 22-year-old man, well, hey, we besties, right? You're not my mama, you my bestie. So they see you as an equal. They don't see you as the authority figure. See what I'm saying? So mothers, you got to do better. Stop that shit. It's disgusting, and it should be child abuse, to be honest. Because if you were putting your foot down in the household, she wouldn't be getting in a car with a 22-year-old, right? That same woman, like I said, she has 3 kids and a boy, right? My dad had 3 girls and a boy when my mom died. When my mom died, I was a teenager, okay? None of us did that shit. None of us got pregnant in high school. None of us was getting in cars with 22-year-olds. So my dad raised us by himself, 3 girls and a boy. This mother who has 3 girls and a boy can't even control a 13-year-old daughter getting in a car with a 22-year-old man. So when people say that dads don't do a good job, that's a damn lie. My dad did a damn good job with us. You just got bad parents on both ends. But lately, I'm seeing more bad mothers. Those same mothers won't let the dad be the authority figure, because dad would tell her to take the wig out, keep the Meek Mill braids on, right? Dad would tell her, no, you can't wear no lipstick, but you can wear lip gloss. See, they don't want that authority in the house. They want to be in control, right? And they want to use their daughters. Some of them pimp out their daughters. Let's not act like we ain't seen the shit. Everybody has a friend on their timeline right now who calls their daughter their best friend. And let's not act like it's a lie. That shouldn't be happening, ladies. You got to do better. They're not your friend. Stop that shit. Then you wonder why she got a baby at 13. Because you failed as a mother. You failed. And you don't want to be held accountable for the shit, right? You want people to say, yes, bitch. Yes, best. No, we're not doing that today. We're not. I've seen too many young girls at 13 and 14 popping out babies, right? And they'll say, well, I only had one parent. I had one parent. I had literally one parent, no grandparents, all dead. No excuse. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear it. You chose to open your legs because you're fast. These girls, they're fast. They're not built like they were when we were growing up. When I was 14, I didn't have no curves, no nothing. These girls, there's something in the water. They're built different. So on top of putting a wig and makeup and piercings on, what man is going to think this is a 13-year-old child who's passing off as 19, 20, right? But then when the cops show up, right, and mom says, I had no idea, well, mom did have an idea, and that guy's going away for the rest of his life, then what? How many guys do you think that happens to every day? A lot of them. And you guys blame the guy. Well, he should have asked her for her ID. Okay, she gives him a fake ID. What's next? Well, he should have took her to the DMV and verified. Come on, guys, let's not be stupid now, right? We're acting like we don't see these fast ass girls on Facebook, TikTok. They're here, right? I even had a girl tell me that the game who has these allegations on him right now, he slid into the DMs of a 15-year-old girl. That 15-year-old girl was on Instagram, only had 5 pictures. All 5 of those pictures were her in provocative clothing and about 20 gallons of makeup on, just like your everyday IG model. She did not have 15 in her bio. So when the game slid into her DMs and said you look good and was trying to holler, she ran to the gossip sites and sent that to them and then put 15 in her bio to make the game look like a predator. Y'all ain't slick. I know the game. You could change your profile on Instagram any second and it'll never say when you did. So you got these young girls on Instagram looking like they 30. You know, Kylie Jenner looks 50 and she's only what, 24? Makeup and filters and all that stuff, it will change and make you look older, period. But these women are becoming smarter and they're doing these little tactics. These girls they're not dumb, they're very smart. So they know what they're doing and they continue to do it because their mothers are not holding them accountable. I know dads wouldn't let this happen. Now, if there is a dad out there allowing his daughter to go out and be a hoe, tag me in that so I can call his ass out. But I'm telling you, I have not seen a dad co-sign his daughter, right, going out into the streets looking like a 40-year-old and she's only 13, 14. So if I'm wrong, show me that I'm wrong. I haven't seen it. I've seen this with women and their daughters. Hold on. I'm going to actually drop the link into the comments because I would love to hear from you guys. Hold on 1 second. I know there's some people that said they wanted to get onto the panel and I want you guys to get on too. So hold on 1 second. Let me drop this link in there for you guys. And then you guys can get on. Hold on 1 second. Okay, I just dropped the link if anybody wants to get on. But again, this is how I feel. And that same mother whose daughter came home safely, it was the fact that she tried to make everybody look at the 22-year-old man like he was a villain. And he had no idea she was only 13. And the picture she used was an innocent picture when her daughter's really fast. And we're ignoring the fact that these girls are out here doing this, and we act like we don't care until some real shit happens, where she gets in the car with a kid, with a guy, right? Then we're over here saying she's a victim. When you look at her mom's page, you see that this girl's out there already. So again, these mothers know what they're dealing with, and they allow it to happen under their household. It starts there. You can tell your daughter you can't wear a wig until you're 18. You could tell your daughter that you can't wear any makeup, no piercings. They're kids. I don't think no kid should have tattoos and piercings at 14 and 15. That is just doing too much. Maybe when they turn 18, let them decide on their own. But when they're in high school and people see that, it reflects on you as a parent. But what bothers me is how many times I had to call CPS because I saw a child getting ready to engage with an adult. And I could tell it was a child. He just couldn't. See, I look at mannerisms. I look at things like that. A lot of men are not really looking detail for detail. They see a woman that looks like an adult who's telling them that she's 19. They're going with that. A lot of people are not saying, let me see your ID, let me see your birth certificate. Who does that? And you might see this same girl at a bar that's 21 and up. So why would he assume that she's 13, guys? Why would he assume that that's a minor if she's at an adult establishment? Those fake IDs, they look real. I've seen 4 of them in my state of Illinois, and they look identical to mine. Gave me the chills. So when you say these girls don't lie, they are lying. They're out here lying. With fake IDs, guys, it's not hard to get. It's not hard to get. So when you see this same little girl at a bar looking like a 30-year-old, that's what happens. I have somebody that wants to get on. Hold on. Is it Black Rage?
Yeah, what's up?
Okay, hi. You're on. Go ahead and talk.
Yeah, I would like to say what's up, everybody. But I would like to say I got I'm from down south right now. I've seen girls who used to do this shit a lot and be getting in car with dudes and shit at middle school. They be fucking high schoolers, like upperclassmen high schoolers at that.
Wow. Well, and was anything done?
No, motherfuckers didn't give a fuck. But them
Just like
same girls are ran through women at like, I'm 30 now, so these girls been since ran through. I knew a couple when I went home on leave and shit. I saw them, but they didn't recognize me because I lost some weight and got some muscle mass. These bitches look like they just been getting dragged most of their life and got like 3 kids.
I seen it, yeah. They end up, and I think if a child is under their mother's custody and she gets pregnant as a minor, I consider that child abuse. I think the child should be taken from the mom. And I know people are going to hate me for that, but if a mother can sit there and allow her 13-year-old daughter to get pregnant, you don't think that's child abuse? But if it's
Yeah,
a father, if it was a father, they would want all his rights stripped away, right? But
yeah,
usually shit like that happens under the mother.
yeah. And
Why?
thing is,
Why aren't
too,
the? Go ahead.
as an adult as well, like on my old job, we had some girl. Just I used to work with inmates and stuff. I used to be on sanitation. I literally used to see underage girls try to talk to some of them, but and some of them didn't know though. Like you couldn't tell they were underage girls until like either they stupid enough and reveal themselves, or you saw them the next week get on a bus or some shit. Like I'm from South Carolina, so a lot of these girls look older than they appear. I blame the food probably. That's what most of us do. But I used to be shocked at men like, you really trying to fuck a grown man right now, for real.
That's what they're doing. And I working for the state, I've seen it. I've had to go into homes and pull kids out of the homes, especially girls who were pregnant at 13. I think that's what
Damn.
hurt me the most. And the mom would say, I didn't know she was having sex. Now, that just means that you're a bad parent. My dad had to raise 3 girls and a boy. I know for a man raising 3 girls, that
That,
had to be hard. We were all in our teens. I know it was hard, but he knew everything about what we were doing. I don't know how he knew, but he knew. He
he
used to
had some of
scare
his
us to
homeboys watching y'all too. He had to have some people watching y'all as well. Y'all just didn't know it. He had to
my
have to.
dad my dad was so good at that. We were in line. Now we were girls, so we did the stupid stuff like, oh, I'm gonna come home late from school, little things like that. But we never did things where we were lying about our age. And my oldest sister, she looked older than what she was because of how she was built, and she was still a child. She was still carrying herself like a child. My dad taught us how to be young ladies until we
Yeah,
became women, right? So
yeah.
what I'm saying is, a lot of men don't get credit for raising girls because they think that only a mom can do that. But I think dads can do the same. I think it's harder for a mom to raise a son on her own. I just think that it's harder that way. But I feel like just being raised by my dad, he did a good job. So that
Yeah.
woman who has 3 daughters, there's no excuse for her allowing her 7-year-old daughter to have a lace wig on with bangs.
I got a quick
That should
question
be.
though.
Go ahead.
Does the mother does she dress up provocatively as well?
Actually, no. The
Oh,
pictures
because
I
I
saw of mom, she had her clothes on. It was her daughters who were wearing like crop tops and bending over and mini skirts. It was her
the reason why I
daughters.
say that because I've seen mother daughters tag team where I was coming from. Like I've literally seen the mom dressed like a hoe, the daughter dressed similar. Mind you, I'm in my
That's
early
true.
20s when I see this shit. I'm like, no fucking way. Mind you, I got nieces. I'm like, one just turned 17. I wish I would hear about her at do some shit. I don't care if this wasn't the past. I'm gonna get my boxing gloves. Let's go. Nope, your
And
mama
that's
can't save you. Let's go.
And a parent should be like that. They should be overprotective over their daughters, especially if it's one parent raising their daughters, because they're going to look at you. You're a reflection. If they see you hoeing and getting in cars, they're going to do it too. But in this instance, she made everyone think that she was taken against her will. When her fast ass daughter lied to the 22-year-old black man about her age, got in the car, she did that on her own free will. But mom painted this picture like the black man was a villain and had all these people looking for him ready to blow his head off.
I'm
That's
scared
what
for him.
pisses me off. Yeah, she posted this picture and everything, but then a few hours later, she's home safe. So we're like, if she was kidnapped, how'd she get home safe? Because she went, did the deed, and came back. That's what it
I,
was.
no, he
13
can
years
still go to
old.
jail for that though. That's the thing. He can still
He
go to jail
can.
for that.
He sure can. He sure can. Even though she had a fake ID and lied about her age and looked grown, he would still go to jail. But how many men do you think that's happening to right now that don't have a clue that that's a
I'm a
child
man,
they're sleeping
and
with?
I'm scared of that shit. I'm an ugly motherfucker, so I ain't got to worry about nobody flirting with me. I know I'm unattractive, so I'm good on that. But I be
No,
scared a lot too.
looks don't have nothing to do with it. To you, you might think you're unattractive. We're all unattracted to somebody. So don't even say that. You still might get with someone that you like. All I tell people is you have to do your research. You have to ask questions. A child is gonna slip up, okay? There's
Hmm.
questions you can ask. But if you see this same child at a bar, you're not gonna say, okay, what year did Juice come out? You're not gonna ask somebody that. You're thinking
Yeah,
she's 21 or up, right?
yeah.
So I know men right now that met a child at a bar, got in with her fake ID, has a big chest for her age. You wouldn't think that she wasn't the age that she's saying that she is. And then you're talking to her and having a conversation, and some of the words that she's using, it ain't adding up. Oh, so you okay? And that's how he was able to figure out you're lying. You need to leave. But how
You
many
know,
men are gonna do that?
but you know what's fuck up too? In some states, they can get tattoos at a young age too if the parents sign off on it. So that's another big ass red flag. So I've seen parts in 16-year-olds got tatted up and shit. I'm looking at it like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, most young girls who get tattoos, I can guarantee you that it will be like a 90-10. 90% of them got the approval from their mom. I don't, like I said, the dads that I know with daughters, they are mean. They're overprotective. They won't even let you look at their daughter. That's how tight it is. So do you think he would let her wear a wig with bangs at 7? Hell no. Unless she's
Yeah,
going through chemo or a medical condition and needs a wig, they have wigs that cater to kids' ages as well. So you don't have
yeah.
to get them the big wig with the bangs that these
My
rappers are wearing or the colored hair. That's come
my
on.
thing is that getting them that like that wigs and lace front. Don't that shit fuck up females' hairlines and hair and shit?
It does, especially if you're 7 years old. I've never heard of kids getting wigs with bangs at 7, but the pictures I saw on this woman's page, her kids were young with these big ass wigs on their head looking grown. It
She need to
bothered
get
me
put
because
to it
her
for that.
follicles are still growing. Her hair is still growing. She's still growing. She's a child. That should be child abuse, in my opinion.
The
I
thing
mean,
is, like especially with some other parents, they can recognize a fast ass girl. They'll tell their whole sons and shit, hey, stay away from her. She gonna get you caught up.
no,
Like,
that's true. But see, and that's why I expose this behavior. And that's why I'm getting called names and getting death threats. Because if I didn't tell everyone that the woman lied about sexual assault, what if she did this to the next guy and he didn't get so lucky? Somebody actually blew his head off.
oh, you
See,
got
what
some
I
because you
say it
got some
again?
stuff out here want to play like White Knight and shit. I'm like, he did it. I'm like, bro, how the hell you? Because I'm in the army right now, active duty. That false accusation shit happens a lot. Don't get me wrong. There's some females that do get violated and sexually assaulted, but some of these broads out here be lying.
I agree. Thank you for your service. I agree with what you're saying. Thank you. I mean, I wanted to address some of the comments. I know there's some ladies in the comments. I wanted some women to get on this podcast because I know some of the women in these comments are mothers. I would love
Yeah,
to know what you do at home, what you would do if your daughter wanted to act grown. If some of the ladies will get on, that would be great. And did you still have something to say, Black Rage? Go
yeah.
ahead.
Like I said, because I got nieces and I can't, and they all the way in New York and shit. When I'm stationed, and certain things I'm hearing, I can't really like get on them because I'm not there all the time. Dad not there. My brother, he there when he can, but they got the mother and they got a little situation. I don't want to get into it because I could purposely stay out of it. But thing is, she might be doing some shit because that her mom might let her, but she wouldn't do that shit around me or my brother or her brother, in fact, because we getting her ass real quick. So I've had to check my couple of my nieces about shit they was wearing. Cause I know one of my nieces was she like 16. She had some tight. I made her take that shit off and put something else on.
No, that's good. And that's what you should be doing. I have nieces back home as well. And my brother, he's very strict. He actually, if they do something wrong, they call me auntie because I'm mean. I'm not a nice auntie. I'm not your friend. I'm not your bestie. I'm not your homegirl. I'm your auntie. I will whoop that ass. You put on something that I don't approve of, I will whoop that ass. I don't care. These young girls, we have to teach them that they're beautiful without all those things. I didn't need them at 14. I mean, you saw my picture. I was a 14-year-old girl. I didn't look older than my age. To me, I wasn't attractive. I didn't care though. I was a basketball player. I was a tomboy. I grew into myself, but I became an adult. I went through those stages. I didn't rush it. My dad didn't rush it. I mean, he would have whooped us. My dad's
Yeah,
philosophy was if you get pregnant, don't come home. That's what he told us. And look, that scared us enough where we didn't do nothing wrong. We all
Yeah.
graduated. We all went to college. So my dad, he instilled that fear that parents don't do today. Remember back in the day when you did something wrong, your mom can give you that one eye, that Forrest Whitaker eye, and you was
Yeah.
back in line, right?
But
All
yeah,
it
but
took
after
was
a
that
while they
eye.
stopped working on me though, because after I'll start getting my ass whooped. I was a bad motherfucker. I ain't
Shoot,
gonna lie to you.
my mom used switches, paddles, fly swatter, pans, the brown extension cord. I made
Ah,
sure
hey,
not to get on her bad
I'm
side.
getting PTSD for that extension cord you bringing up. I'm getting PTSD for that.
I'm sorry about that, but look, we needed it. When that extension cord came out, I did something bad, and I deserved it. But my mom didn't whoop us like a slave, but she had enough fear in us where we didn't want to do anything wrong because we knew what would happen. Nowadays, parents don't instill that fear. They let their kids do what they want. The kids are the parents. You're not gonna touch me. I'll call CPS. My mom would have been like, "Here, I already called him. Here's the phone,"
My
because she
thing is too
knew.
about these
Go ahead.
celebrities because nowadays you got people like I'm a minor attracted person and shit like people. I feel like they promoting pedophilia and shit too. So I be noticing that shit a lot. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like
And
they
it's
try to switch it up. I'm a minor attracted person. I'm like the fuck. What the fuck you
I've seen it
attracted to a
too.
minor?
And hold
Bro,
on,
like
Black Rage. It looks like we have a female on Kiki. Kiki, can you hear me, hun?
how you
Yeah, I
doing?
can hear you. Hey, can y'all hear
Okay.
me?
Yes,
Yeah.
we can hear you. Go ahead, girl. I want to hear from you,
Hey,
Kiki.
wait.
Go ahead.
Hey, yeah, no, y'all ain't lying. I'm 24. When I was 17, I looked like I was 13. So now you see like these 13-year-olds, they look my age, and I be looking like, what is y'all mama feeding them? I need some of that.
Basically down south. Go down south and get some food from there. Trust me.
You and
Yeah.
Kiki, you said you've seen young girls who looked older than what they were. Were they passing themselves off
Basically
as
down
older?
south. Go down south and get some food from there. Trust me.
Hold on, Black Rage.
You
Hold
and
on, Black Rage.
you said you've
Did you hear
seen
what I said,
young
Kiki?
girls who yeah, I heard you. Yeah, they was passing themselves off as older. And then even when I was my age, there was when I was like their age, there was girls that was out there like that. And then my dad, he ain't allowed that. Like, no, my dad, he was kind of like your daddy, but my daddy, instead of him having people watch us, he was watching us from a distance, and I didn't even know type of thing. My dad, one time I came to my this was how my dad was. One time, so I was going to school late all the time on purpose. Well, not really on purpose, because like I was tired, so I was always late. So when I so I would normally get to school when I was like around like 8:30. But this particular day, I was late. Like it was after 9 o'clock. And I went to go pick up my friends. We all went to the store and stuff. And we all get into the school. And my dad, he literally jumped out of the van and was like, "Stop!" And I just looked and I was like, "Oh shit." I'm like, that's how my dad was, okay? So these girls now, they got it easy because my dad, nah, he would have been going for that.
I heard that, and it looks like we have Tay. So, Kiki, I'm gonna mute you for a second and let Tay talk, and we'll shift around. Go ahead, Tay. Tay, can you hear me?
Oh yeah, I can hear you. Sorry, I forgot to turn on my mic.
Go ahead.
Um, I'm just coming. I'm 24, so I'm from the younger generation, and I definitely hear where you guys are coming from. I had a super strict mom growing up, but I feel like sometimes that the mom can always be at blame because there was a time when I was a bit rebellious as a teenager, and I just did not listen, and she tried her best. So I don't think that the parents are to be to blame all the time. Sometimes it is the girls.
Can you elaborate on that? You're saying that a minor, we shouldn't hold the parents accountable because she's a girl. Can you help me understand that? Why shouldn't we if they're minors?
No. I don't. I feel like sometimes parents try their best, and you can't control what your child does.
Okay, so you're saying that a parent cannot control what their child does.
Yes, not all the time. That's exactly what I'm saying. Kids are very sneaky.
And I agree, but if we're parents, that means we went through that. Let me give you an example. My dad knew all the tricks and trades because he was once a young fool too. Like we're fools until we learn how to mature and become better adults. So my dad knew all the tricks. He knew if we said this was going on, he wanted to know when, where, why, how. That's how my dad was. So he knew where we were every moment. And this was back in the day when you didn't have cell phones and all you had was pages, and we didn't even have that. But my dad kept tabs on us while we were at school. He knew everything. So if you're a good parent and you know your daughter goes to school from 7:15 to 2:30, and then it takes her 15 minutes to get home, and you expect her to be home by 2:50 because you're giving her a 5-minute cushion, How can you not know what they're doing at every moment? The only way you won't know is if you just don't care and you're letting them live free. And that's what a lot of these parents are doing. They're letting their kids do whatever they want. It's easy to keep tabs on your kids. I swear it is. I keep tabs on my nieces from states away. I know what they're doing. So
Right. I now feel
it's
you. I have a daughter now, so I know how it is, and I definitely I know where she is all times of the day, but she's only 4, and so I can't agree with you with that part. Maybe yeah, maybe my mom was a bit inattentive, and I was able to get away with things because she wouldn't really look into it as much. She would take my word for it.
well. Let me ask you a question. What kind of things did you get away with that your mom didn't catch? And hopefully your mom's not listening. But
Oh no,
no,
we
I want
talk
to
about it all
know
the time.
what
Oh,
kind
so
of
like
things.
sneaking out of my window to go to a party.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, things like that. So I was a bit bad. It was
So
yeah. So
so let me. Do you think it would be hard for a dad to raise 4 kids by himself?
yes, I think it would be
Okay.
hard for a dad.
So it was my dad. How many kids did your mom have to raise besides you?
5 others. So my mom has 6 in total. I was the last.
Okay, so my dad had 4 in total. Okay, and so we never snuck out the house. Why? Because there was alarms on our windows. My dad didn't have to put bars, but we did have an alarm, and it was for our safety. We never ran away. Like I said, it's your parenting style that will make your kids be in line. Like trying, if you can't do a good job, send them off to boot camp. Back in the day, back in my day, I knew a lot of young kids who were just too much for their single parents, and they would send their ass to boot camp, and they came back refreshed and new with a new attitude. If you can't do it, somebody else will. But you can't use it as an excuse for your kid failing because you tried your best. Trying would mean you've done everything you could, even if it was boot camp, even if it was corrective school. They had things for that. They had them back in the day too. It's just that parents didn't want to go that far because they didn't want to be judged. They didn't want to be looked at as a bad parent. They would rather be looked at as a parent that let their fast ass kid go out there and sleep around with Joe and Tom and all the whole team. So again, it's all about your parenting style. And if you can't do it on your own and you ain't got no family that can help you, send their asses to boot camp. It's either boot camp or jail. Which one you gonna choose? But sneaking out a window, oh, if I would have snuck out the window, my dad would have met me with a hot belt. He would have heated it up. He would have heated it up so it was real hot. I never snuck out the house one time. Nobody in my family did. And my dad was that strict. And I'm not saying he didn't let us play. I was a baller. My brother was a baller. We used to hoop. I went to school dances. My dad just taught us how to be kids and how to obey. And we learned that from my dad. I didn't have a mother or grandmother to teach me that because they were both dead. So again, at 14, knowing this stuff, there ain't no excuses. I don't want to hear shit about, oh, I had one parent, so did I. I didn't have grandparents. I didn't either. People just make excuses for bad parents, and I'm not going to do that today. Today is accountability. But
Oh
thank you
my
so much.
goodness. So you
Well,
making
I'm
so
on
much
it.
sense. You
I'm
making
on
so
it.
much sense. I
And your
don't
mom
I
had
don't
6.
disagree with anything
Ooh.
that you said.
And I think your mom did, it sounds like your mom did a good job if there were 6 of y'all. 6
Yeah,
is
yeah,
not
I turned
easy.
out okay. I did turn out okay. Um, but yeah, you make a lot of sense. And when I first found you, I was like, oh my gosh, I don't like her. And then I followed your page and I was like, she
Wait,
makes
damn,
a lot of
hold
sense.
on.
And people just don't
Reverse.
like it. Like, because a lot of people don't like the truth. And I was one of them. I'm like, wow. Like, but then it's like, if everybody is being held accountable, then we would elevate as a community. So I can't disagree with you because you make a lot of logical points.
You just okay, and I want to tell you I appreciate you. You just kept it 100. You said you didn't like me, so let's
Oh
go back
no.
to that.
Oh my gosh, no.
Hold
Like
on,
you're
hold on,
it
no,
used to
no,
be
wait. I put the car in reverse. I just put the car in reverse. I'm backing up, looking in the rearview mirror. Okay, what? Why didn't you like me? Because I want to hear this. Why didn't you like me at first?
I felt like you were always attacking women. I felt every time I seen your post, you were always coming at the girl, always. And I'm like, she hates women. What is wrong with her? And I'm like, and I wouldn't really look too deep. I would read, like, I would skim past your caption and I would read like the little text message thread or anything like that. And then I'm like, she really dissects everything. And I'm like, it's not that big of a deal. But now that I'm older and I'm like, I could gain clarity and I see where you're coming from and exactly how these girls are out here. So I
Oh,
mean, it just
thank
I feel
you.
like I disagree with you because I was immature and I didn't want to be held accountable.
No,
So
no, no. And even if you did disagree with me, I'm okay with that. It's just when people disagree with me, if you have to attack and talk about people's dead pet and all that stuff, then we have a problem. So
right,
you kept it
right,
100.
right.
Not many people are going to get on this panel and say, Daphne, I didn't fuck with you at first. I didn't like your ass. You kept it 100. I like you. We good. Okay.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much for your words. Okay. I got to add some more people on here. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Have a good day, hon. Okay. Let's see. Kiki. Okay. Miss Kiki, you back?
Yeah, I'm back. I've been
Did
here
you?
the whole
Okay.
time.
She said I didn't leave. Okay. Hold on 1 second. Rainy?
I'm here.
Yay! Okay, hey Rainy, go ahead and talk. I've been waiting on
Hey,
you.
hey,
Hey,
what's
honey,
up?
what's up?
So, so I'm in the 40 and up club, and
Mhm.
we don't. I never ever let my kids get away with anything. Not one thing. I was always there watching everything that they did, and as a parent, you have to know what they're doing. You have to know who they're doing it with, and you always have to know how to handle that by all means. I have a 25-year-old daughter now and a 22-year-old son now. And
Mm.
to this day, I still have to know what's going on with them so we can know how to handle those things accordingly. Ain't no going out and trying to figure out what you're going to do on your own at 16, 15, 14 parties and all that other kind of stuff. It was, Mama, can I do? Mama, is it okay to go over this friend's house? No, you can't go over there. They can come over here. I can go see what's going on with them and their mamas. We we had to know what was going on with them. Period. Their dad was somewhere else. We were divorced, but we still had to know what was going on with them. Period. It wasn't no free wild and none of that stuff going on. It was always what you got going on. They were in sports. We knew the coaches. We knew who they played with. We knew where they were going. Even when they started driving, hey, where you
Mm.
going? Call me when you move. If you're not going there, tell me everything you're doing. I don't care how old you are, where you can go to, what you're doing. Let me know what you're doing at all times. And it's still like that because it's about accountability. It's about being safe. And my daughter still, she won't even go to the nail shop now. She goes and put press on nails on because I didn't let her get her nails done. Even when she was 18, she was scared to go get her nails done for prom because we didn't do that kind of stuff. That was
That sounds
excessive.
like me. That sounds just like me. And you said you have two kids. You have two kids.
Yep, I have two. I have a
A girl.
25-year-old and a 25-year-old daughter and a 22-year-old son, both college graduate. My son
Mm.
actually he just
Mm. Mm.
graduated from
Mm.
from UPenn Ivy League. I didn't play that shit.
Well, I want to tell you that I appreciate, mothers like you who actually instill discipline and you teach your kids to do right. Like I said, I was raised by my dad and I got to go to school dances and stuff. I'm not saying he kept us in the house with bars. My dad worked 12-hour shifts. He just knew when he would go to work from 5 to 5, we weren't out there doing what we wanted to. And those during that time now, kids will sneak out and go, sleep around, go get high, smoke. We didn't do none of that stuff. And I was
And
so scared of my dad, even on prom. He told me, have fun. Your curfew was 6 in the morning. I came back at
yeah,
10 p.m.
exactly. We let them do what they wanted to do. It's kind of like we gave you enough rope to hang yourself. You knew what the stipulations were. You knew what you were supposed to do. And the moment you decided that you wanted to screw that up, then it was on you. But they never stepped outside of that because they knew what the consequences were going to be. You wanted your life to stop. You wanted everything that you had ahead of you to stop. Then mess up if you want to, but they decided not to because they already knew I was crazy. So,
I like that. Crazy. I love that word. And I'm saying, and you're not saying crazy like try to kill your kid, but crazy as in they knew not to test you. These kids now, they don't have that discipline. They can do whatever they want, and the parents will allow them to do it. But when I worked for the state, what I saw was moms allowing this behavior. And because I would stand up for that child and say, this ain't right, people looked at me wrong. So again, like I said, the young lady, if you heard me at the beginning, who lied about being sexually assaulted, she
yes,
detailed it. The cops went to her mother's house first because see, they try to say my skills aren't real, but then when I send cops to you from another state, I'm in Illinois, she was in Florida. I called the police department, said I want to do a well-being check. The boys they showed up at her mom's house first because what they do when you call the dispatcher and you tell them the person's name, they look it up. There's going to be more than one address, so they're going to go to all of them. They went to mom's first. And mom's told the officer, oh, she lies like this a lot. She lies like
yeah,
this a lot. So
I
that tells
heard
you that
that.
mom never taught this idiot accountability. She's
Yeah,
allowing her daughter to lie about something as severe as being assaulted. So for what? For attention? When that can really bring her the wrong attention. Some people will kill over being lied on because you're already
yeah.
putting a bullseye on my back. So for her to tell the cops that, oh, you don't have to go check on her. I know she's lying. The cops still had to do that. They had to still check and ensure that mom was telling the truth. And they were. When the cops showed up at their house, they said her eyes were big like a bug, like she saw a ghost. And she said, I don't want your help. Leave. So you're
I,
refusing the help of the cops, but accepting help from Facebook, Cash Apps, going live and saying, what questions do you guys have? What the fuck? What
I
kind of
saw
victim
that.
moves like
I
that?
saw that. That was
So
just
hold
just
on.
idiot.
So when Daphne exposed her and put that audio out there to show you that my detective skills are 100% thorough, you still said that that was a fake call. So I called a different number and spoke to a different cop who confirmed the same shit. At the end of the day, don't ever test me because I will definitely show you that I'm not playing.
Your
Then when I
gangster
showed
is
the
real.
names, yes, Queen. Then when I showed the names and gave everybody what they begged for, I got shut down for 48 hours. I had to submit my ID and information to Instagram just to get it back because she reported the post that I exposed her on. So again, don't challenge me. Then when I give you the shit and I'm about to lose my shit, y'all want me to be off the social media platform. I get it now, but don't ever say that my shit is fake because when I show you the truth, you still will call it fake. I even gave them the number to the cop to call. Call them if you think I'm lying. No, we're not gonna call because yeah, because I got you. And no one ever said, Daphne, thank you for saving the man's life that she put in danger. Daphne, great job. It's you a hater. You snitch. Where's the girl code? Girl code? Girl code? I'm never gonna stand behind a lying ass chick. Ever. I don't care what you did. I don't support lies. I will support truth and facts. She lied. And I know she's listening today because she said she was gonna sue me for defamation. Well, I ran you and I don't see no kind of court record about you trying to sue me. When you gonna put it in there? I'm ready. Like I said, don't ever challenge me because I would definitely sue you for defamation. Now, when you go around and tell people I support sexual assault, that's defamation, not me exposing you for being a lying ass clout chaser, right? So know you. Please go back to school, ladies, if you don't know the definition of defamation. It's not when someone exposes you for the truth. It's when you're lying on someone's character. There's a difference. Don't play with me. I will find you and I will expose you. That's how I do it. So hold on, guys. We got some more people on the panel. Mylon, go ahead. Mylon, can you hear
Oh,
me?
hey.
Go ahead and
Yeah,
speak.
yeah. All right. So just listening to everything you're saying, and I'm an avid supporter. Haven't cashed up yet, but like you're not like all about that, but I will one day. Um, Listen, you know, there's a double standard, and like the guys, like I always try to get on your podcast and tell the guys, hey, one, get a trade. I'm 42. I'm currently getting a trade right now. I'm in school right now. So, at least for the next 15 years, by the time I'm 52, I probably can retire doing hard work or blue collar work, right? So, but to go back to your subject, man, listen, they want you, right? But the one thing that they can't handle is the truth. And when I say they, I mean, just certain young women, they can't handle the truth. Now, back to the point of, man, I'm 42, right? So, like, I grew up in an era, 1997, I was graduating high school. I wasn't the best, wasn't the most popular and all that kind of stuff. And I would watch these young ladies have kids, with guys that I, I felt were like not good for them. I'm like, man, I would be nice to you and all that kind of stuff. And, they had kids. So now, fast forward 20, about 25 years later, um, we're in a situation, well, I can't say we're because I'm not, but they're in a situation that they're in, right? And I just thank God that that you try to hold women accountable because they're going to always kind of scoot back and say, what about this? What about that? Ask you, try to threaten you, all that kind of stuff. But I know, like I'm not living your life right, but the threats are not, they're not really accountable. Like if a person threaten you, like they're going to back it up. Me as a man knows that if I threaten a man, well, then I'm gonna have to come $100 or full on throttle. But if a woman kind of threatens you, she's threatening you because she doesn't want to have her accountability, taken for or taken from. So before I talk too much, I, I'm gonna cut myself off and let you, kind of talk or respond or you know.
Did you see the comments? Because you you was like, hold on, let me stop talking. No, I definitely get what you're saying. And
Yeah, I didn't see
Queen,
the comments. I'm sorry.
no, I thought you did because they was like, what are you talking about? And I had to let them know what you were trying to explain. Some people came on, while you were talking midway. But I want
Okay.
to address what you're saying. Yes, I do get a lot
Hmm.
of threats to my inbox, and I'm used to it now. And there
Hmm.
are certain threats that I will entertain, and there are some that I know are low level threats from people. So
Yeah.
um, what I tend to do, like when people told me, well, there's no way that woman wrote that paper, they didn't believe that because they don't believe that people will write a paper instead of going to jail. I know many people that would choose to write a paper than to go to jail. I mean, I don't know if you guys ever saw 60 Days In. Going to jail isn't, and it's not an adventure. They're gonna make you remove them lashes and wigs and hair and nails and all that, and you're gonna be your real self. People ain't looking forward to that
Hmm.
because she knew if she didn't write the
Hmm.
paper, I would get the mug shot. So it was either which one you want to do, which one you gonna do. So you do got some women that will, hold themselves accountable and say, okay, I'm gonna write a paper on not making fun of the dead. So I did that a couple times, but I won't do it anymore. I did say last week that the next person that comes into my inbox with a death threat, I will go ahead and take it all the way up to the highest of the courts because I think
Yep. Do it.
when they go to jail and I get to see them in their real natural state, that's more embarrassing than me making them write a paper. I'm not going to give anybody any more passes. And I'm saying that for those listening now because I do check my spam now. I had over maybe 300 comments or messages in my spam when you add it all up on all my social medias. And I actually started entertaining some of it. Some of it I did take it, I doxed the person, and I sent it off to the courts. So I got about 8 cases open right now, and I'm gonna win them all.
Oh wow.
I look at I also look at your state in laws. There's some laws where they will put you in jail for 12 months and a $10,000 fine for making threats via
Mm.
electronic means. Electronic means doing it electronically, which means it could be on Facebook, Instagram. That's a crime now, y'all. It's a
Mm.
misdemeanor. And most of these women that are
Hmm.
doing it, they have kids at home. So I start to question if you have time to entertain a stranger that you never met, I start to question, are the kids being taken care of? How can my
I
post
know,
make you
right?
so mad that you'll say I will kill you? That don't sit right with me. So I've never gotten
Yeah.
a death threat this year from a man, but I have gotten them from men, and they're usually the men of the women that I pissed off. They send their little pookie to my
Okay.
inbox. I'll kill you. So yeah,
Yeah.
I got this.
Spent.
I'm never worried about threats. I handle them as they come.
Hmm.
But when they want to test my skills, I will show them that they're real. And then I get emails.
Yeah.
Hey, I found your email on Facebook. I went on your husband's Facebook page, and he has this little thing in Sutton Sports, and I just want to say, I'm sorry. Can we stop the legal process? What you mean? Oh, so a detective came to your house, huh? See, I'm not playing with these women no more. I'm not. I'm not.
Hmm.
And I think that if I start getting them more in trouble, they'll stop. Right? So, yeah. Who else do we
Yeah.
got on here? Honest, did you want to talk? Honest? Honest, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, hey, did you have anything else to say?
Yeah, I'm part of the 18 to 21 age group,
Okay.
and Rainey had mentioned something about being on her children when it came to what you doing, who you with, and all that type of stuff. I would agree with that to a certain standpoint because even though you were on that, it just creates a more secretive thing that your child does. Because I'm not gonna lie, I was one of those kids who parents were on them 24/7. Oh, random phone checks, who you gonna be with, you can't go nowhere. I would still find ways to hide the stuff that I was doing. Was it wrong? Yes, I knew it was wrong. My parents raised me to not be that type of person. I still did that on my own, so I cannot blame my parents when it was my own mindset.
Okay. Rainy, go ahead, hon. You want to
But
address it?
yeah, but why did you feel like you needed to hide it? Because with mine, they always were able to have open dialogue with me. I didn't filter them from talking to me. I didn't filter them from having feelings. They could talk to me and tell me how they felt about anything that was going on with me, and with them, I would explain to them why I needed them to do certain things, why I needed them to let me know where they were going, what they were doing. They had futures ahead of them, and I didn't want them to spoil those futures by being somewhere they weren't supposed to be, doing something. Let me give you an example, like my son. I mean, typical boy. Say, for instance, some girl was texting him something inappropriate, just, I don't know, boob pics or something like that. I would have to explain to him, hey, son, don't do that. That's technically child porn. Okay. To
Mm.
him, he knew then he wasn't supposed to have those type of things in his phone. So when I say what you're doing, where you going, who you doing it with, he knew that he wanted to go to college. He knew that he wanted to do, play professional sports, as a kid. So when I explained those things to him and what his future looked like in his mindset, he knew, hey, I don't want to do this because this is what I want to do. So then we kept open dialogue. Everything was open with us. It wasn't just I was just on them, on them, on them, but they knew what they were supposed to do and what weren't supposed to do. There was nothing to hide. We kept an open book, but they knew if they ever fucked up, it was on. So why did you feel like you needed to hide that from them?
Well, I lived with my mom majority of my life, except for when I moved with my dad for high school, my last 3 years of high school. So when I stayed with my mom, she was just like you, who wouldn't allow me to go anywhere, wouldn't allow me to do anything, regardless of if I did what she told me to do, had good grades, all that. So when I feel like I'm doing everything that you want me to do, but you're still not allowing me to also be, do stuff with friends or other activities outside of with with my parent, my mom. So I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I tried talking to my dad about it. He would try to talk to her and like just give her a little bit more freedom, give her room to mess up a little bit. She would punish me for stuff that wasn't even worth punishing for. And it's
Well,
like I was the only child up until I was 10, so majority of my childhood I would have to take care of my younger sister.
you were being a parent while I let my kids be a kid. So I see the difference between that. They didn't have anything to hide, whereas you had to hide things because she wasn't let you do anything. I let them do what they wanted to do until they had a reason for me not to let them. So I see the difference between that. They didn't have to
Let
hide
me
anything from me.
let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. So you said you still found ways to do things when you weren't allowed to. Can you elaborate on that? Can you give me an example of when they said one thing and you still did it?
So say if I had a phone, I the old phone that I had previously had before that phone, they would take the phone that I had currently in my possession, take that from me, and then I would go get one of my old phones and just use that when I'm not around them or when they weren't home.
Okay, got you. I think a lot of kids did that. What I'm saying is like if your parents told you we want you in this house at 5 p.m. and they would go off to work, would you still sneak out?
It was again, I couldn't sneak out due to me having my sister, and then with my me living with my dad. He didn't stay in the town my mom stayed in. He stayed in a town like a little bit outside of it, and I didn't have a car until I was 17, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So it was no way for me to do that. So my only outlet was my phone. The only way I could talk to other people was my phone. So
They weren't aware that you had more than one phone. So you was Kevin Gates back in the day too. You had two
yeah,
phones.
yes.
Okay, so what I'm saying is back in the day when I was growing, I'm saying back in the day like I'm 50, but we had pagers and we had the little Nokia phones. But even my dad knew everything that was going on, and just like the last gentleman said, my dad he had to be the CIA himself to watch 4 kids and work 12-hour shifts every day, but we just knew we didn't need to hide anything from my dad. My dad was always open to hear what we had to say, but if he knew something was bad and he said no, it was no. We would never find another way to make it a yes because we knew what would happen after that. So I'm
That's
not saying my dad was like he wanted a full itinerary of what we're doing. He protected us like a dad is supposed to. If you're supposed to be home from school at 3 and it's 4 o'clock, where are you? Where are
that's
you at? I'm
how
coming to get
that's
you. That's
how
how.
sorry, I don't mean to cut you
No,
off.
go ahead. Go ahead.
That's how my dad was. He was very strict when it came to my grounding. He wouldn't break the grounding. Like my mom on the other hand, she would ground me and then she wouldn't stick through with that punishment. Like she would take my phone, and then, like I say, a couple days later, I would have my phone back. She never stuck with it.
So let me clarify. Your mom never stuck with their punishment, but dad did.
Yes, because I
Woo!
had my mom, my dad, and my
Mm,
stepmom that's been in my life since I was 2. So I
mm.
didn't have just 2 parents. I had 3. So with that, I had to be extra cautious with what I was doing, because you never know who those kids' parents are and who they know.
So did you like being that open with your mom better than you did your
I was
dad? Did you
never
like
open
being
with
around
my
mom?
mom. I'm still not open with my mom. Some of the things that I've done
Hmm.
when I was younger, never
Mm-hmm.
told. But my stepmom and my dad, I have a way more open communication with my dad and my stepmom more than my mom.
Okay, I appreciate you for sharing that. If you don't want me asking, why did you feel like you couldn't communicate with your mom over your stepmom?
In some instances, I feel like my mom, she wasn't understanding. She would go and tell other people what was going on, and it's like, I understand that, you're a grown person, you can do that. But at the same time, is it really their business? And then you say, what happens in this house stays in this house, and then you turn around and tell people what's going on that involves me. Some things it's not really, and I have an issue with it now. I'm not very open. Like, I don't talk to my mom's other side of the family. Like, I don't talk to my grandmother, not interactive with my auntie or anybody else. But my dad's side, I'm more connected with them more than my mom. I'm sorry if I'm babbling.
No, you're not babbling. I want to say thank you for sharing that. You said you were 21, right?
I'll be 21 next month.
Okay, next month. Okay, and I want to say thank you for sharing that. It kind of further proves what I was trying to say. But the fact that you said that even though you weren't able to, open up to your mom, you were able to open up with your stepmom and your dad. So you still had someone that you could talk to. And I want to tell you, if you need someone that can mentor you and help you, don't hold on to any anger or hate, or if you're upset with your mom, hash that out. Let her know you love her, but you're not going to tell her everything. Let her know that you still love her. You're my mom, and I'm still going to pray for you every day, but it's going to take a while before we get back to where we should be as a mother and daughter. I work with a lot of girls who resent their parents. Both are one, and that's not good to have, especially when you still have a parent. I don't have my mother, and I couldn't imagine me never wanting to talk or being mad at her. But I'm not saying that's your case, but I hope that you're still able to talk to your mom, and if not, let me help you with easing that, because it's not a good thing to carry in your heart. Our parents are not going to live forever,
And
and if you go ahead.
when I hit 17, she tried to be more, you know, a droning parent. She tried to bring her rules, like, she tried to enforce her rules way more, because she had told me once I'm 18, I'm able to do whatever I want and leave whenever I want. So when I turned 18 and I got that freedom from her, I just stopped listening all completely. Like, she would tell me, I would try to leave like late at night. She like, oh, you can't go nowhere, and would try to take my car keys. I would still leave. Like, I would just walk, and then it was a lot of arguments between me and her at the age of 18. I don't live with her now. Like, I moved out literally a couple months after I turned 18, because the arguments, I couldn't do it. I'm not confrontational. Like, you try to argue with me, I'm just gonna sit there and look at you.
Okay,
I'm not
so
a confrontational person. So when you're trying to argue with me, I'm just gonna sit there. I don't like to be yelled at. I don't like to be chastised. I have a lot of issues from my childhood that I'm in the process of trying to work on due to her and other family members.
Okay. Well, again, I want to tell you thank you for sharing your life with us. I mean, you didn't have to share any of this. And if you want to talk to me outside of this, because it sounds like you have a lot to say, and this is going to be a quick show, so I hate to even cut you off, but
I'm
I want you to
sorry.
reach out. No, no, you didn't do nothing wrong. No, you said enough for me to want to mentor you if you're open to me mentoring you. I mean, I'm spread thin, but speaking to you, you sound like one of my girls that I work with now. So you can reach out to me on Instagram and let's set up a time. I want to talk to you. Like I said, you have a lot that you went through in your life, and I appreciate you sharing a little bit of that with us because it's not easy to get on a panel and tell people what you went through. But you're young and you have your whole life ahead of you, and I know that you could grow from anything that happened to you and become a better woman. Okay.
Okay.
Was there any closing thoughts you wanted to say?
Um, I know that this podcast is about only the females, but I also wanted to look at the son aspect of it because as much as women promote their girls to grow up quickly, they do the same thing for their sons.
um you said this is a girl, this is not a woman's podcast or a girl's podcast. This is about everyone. Like if I saw this in men, I'm gonna call it out. I've called out men too. If you check my Instagram, I just don't do women. I tell people if you see something online, like there was a young man who allowed his daughter to dance on his lap, and everyone wanted me to attack the guy, but guess who was recording? The mother. So again, if you see something that's not right on social media, I'll come swooping in. But I rarely get tags of a man, having his daughter hold the phone while he shakes his butt, or a man having his daughter swing from a stripper pole. These are all women. I have about maybe 40 videos on my phone from TikTok of women and their kids acting a fool. That shouldn't be happening. So again, if you see something online, send it to me.
I'm
People
not
make Go ahead.
I'm not talking about the men, I'm talking about these young boys and like their moms aren't on them as much as they're on their girls.
Oh, gotcha. So okay, I get what you're saying. So they're being more strict with their son, but not with their daughters.
No, they're being strict on their daughters, but they're letting their son do anything like, you know, boys 17, young, that age, getting pieces that they're not supposed to have, tattoos, stuff like that. But with the females, they're way more like I don't know what I'm talking
No,
about.
I get what you're saying because you have some mothers who are like that because a daughter can bring a child home, even though a son can go out there and get a woman pregnant. They're more concerned with their daughters getting pregnant. Some of them are. So you'll see some parents that are a single parent more hard on one child than the other. Like I said, my dad he wasn't as strict with my brother as he was with the three girls. I never asked him why. I didn't question my dad, but the way he raised us, we all turned out to be perfectly fine. None of us had criminal records. We all graduated high school. No one got pregnant in high school. 3 out of 4 of us have college degrees. This is being raised by a single father and no help from the government, no help from a woman. My brother's curfew was different than mine. My brother could come home at 11 o'clock. My curfew was 10 at night. So imagine how I felt being 2 years older than my brother, who's the baby, and his curfew is better than mine. I never questioned my dad on why he did that. I never did. As a kid, I never questioned him. But him having a curfew better than mine, I got clowned in school for it. But I still don't tell my dad why'd you do that. My dad had a method to why he did what he did, and we all turned out perfectly fine. I don't know many people that I went to high school with that only was raised by one parent. Well, all of them turned out fine. One will always have like a criminal record. One got pregnant when they were 15. For my dad to have 4 kids and none of us got pregnant in high school, none of us have criminal records. 3 out of 4 of us have college degrees. That is unheard of. So I'm gonna make sure I give my father his flowers while he can still smell them. Because a lot of these men are not being looked at as good parents, and they are. It's just that a lot of women don't want an authoritative figure in the household saying this is how it's gonna be under this roof. They want it to be an open door. Do what you want. Come back and tell. That should never be it. Where a parent is giving their kid freedom to do what they want, and then we'll talk about the consequences later. That's the way it is now. So I get what you're saying, and that's why I said I wanted to talk to you more outside of this, and we'll go into more detail together. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Thank you for coming on, and like I said, reach out to me on Instagram so we can talk more. Okay?
All right.
Okay, hon. I hope you have a good day.
You too.
Okay. So Rainey, I know that you told me that your kids still went to you to communicate, and that just tells me that you weren't this parent that was they couldn't even breathe without you knowing about it. You still gave them that freedom, but when they had the freedom, they didn't disrespect it. They didn't go overboard. And that's the kind of parenting we should have today, because you do have a lot of single mothers that do a damn good job with their kids. They do, and those mothers are out there. I appreciate those mothers, but I have to show you what I'm seeing. I'm not seeing more good than bad, which is sad. It's more bad than good. I just saw a young 5-year-old swinging from a pole with his legs open, and everyone said, "Oh, the mom is just teaching him how to, keep his posture right." When they're swinging from a pole with their legs spread like a V, that is not teaching them how to keep their posture. Guys, don't play with me. There's a
Hell no,
difference
that was
between
that
doing
was
that.
gross.
That was gross. That was disgusting. And it was a woman. I had videos of a woman telling her son to grab a Hooters girl's butt. And that's what he does. He grabs it. You teach him to do that at 5, then at 15, he's in jail for sexual assault. So again, these are women. I'm showing you the videos. I'm showing you the proof. And I'm still being attacked. Why aren't we attacking the fact that there's a lot of deadbeat moms out there who are keeping the dads from their kids? And this is the result. These kids are wild. They're out here doing what they want because the mom doesn't give a damn. And you even have moms that are pimping out their daughters. Like, again, we can go back to R. Kelly. They said R. Kelly would go to McDonald's, park, and just watch all these girls. So the people that were with him, I question, why didn't y'all say anything? Y'all knew it was wrong because y'all know that there were these kids in high school sleeping with the coaches, having these drug dealers pick them up. Y'all saw this shit and y'all didn't say nothing. So now y'all want to say, "Oh, R. Kelly, give him the chair." But y'all was the same fools turning a blind eye when you saw Tamika get in the car with Coach T to go have sex. Don't play with me. I know what it was like back then too. So you can't trick me with the foolery. I know
Nope.
back then these fast ass girls was getting in these cars with these grown ass men, and y'all saw it and y'all laughed. Tamika's at it again. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. Or the girl who was sucking off the whole football team. We all had someone like that in school, right? And
Yeah,
y'all didn't
hell
say
yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's funny how now people want to act like they care. Y'all didn't give a damn then. So why you shocked that now it's coming to the light more? These girls are fast, and I blame partly, I'm gonna say, the dad too. But in most cases, the dad's not even around because the mom won't allow him to be, because he's strict, he's mean, he's like a cop. This is what they would tell me. Well, I would let him come around if he would stop trying to tell my daughter what to do. Well, ma'am, he's the dad. She's the child. And she came out of me. So I make the see, no man want to be around no loud ghetto mouth broad like that. And
Mm-mm.
most judges are gonna side with the mom, and they're gonna look at the dad like he's bad. And all the dad wants to do is enforce some rules to protect his daughter, right? He's gonna
Yep.
tell her the game better than mom would, right? How do you
Absolutely.
think about that, Rainey? Am I right about this?
You're absolutely correct, and I think it's a shame that how these mothers try to separate these kids from their dad. It's stupid. It's stupid.
I even had mothers call on us to come and do a well-being check where the daughter was with the dad because she thinks that he's touching her. Ain't that some shit? You're that
That
mad that he moved on, that you want to create this false narrative that he's now funneling her, or he says she looks sexy in her crop top, and dad doesn't even talk like that. So you got these mothers that will file a false, oh, I want to put in an anonymous tip. I saw him touch her, right? We come out there, we pull the daughter by herself in a room with a cop, and we get the truth. Mommy said to say, that's the saddest part, and it's still happening today. But today, they're not doing what I did, what I was taught to do. They're just asking the kid right in front of the mom, what did dad do? Okay, he did it, go get him. Send the unit to his house and go get him. She's going to say whatever mom told her to say with mom there. Pull her away from mom, where mom can't give her the eye, the wink, the look, right? And then you're going to get the truth, but they don't do that anymore. I've seen dads lose their kids because of a false claim, and they had no proof. And it took him months and thousands of dollars to get that child back. So when y'all say these men don't fight, you know how much fighting costs? Oh, yeah, he can get a free attorney. He can. But you think that attorney's going to fight for him like one that's paid would? No. There is a difference between court appointed and you paying. Why do you think people say, no, I don't want no court appointed lawyer? That's like going to county. That's like going to county. They're gonna give you the low level treatment. They're not gonna give you the same treatment that a Rush hospital would that has celebrities or Cedar Sinai. Don't play with me. I know these tricks. Y'all not gonna play with me on this today. All
For
I'm saying
sure.
is that these young girls, they're not getting whooped anymore because you can't whoop them. Some of them will call, CPS and child abuse now. But if a mother was really in her daughter's life, she would sit there and tell her what's not. Look, this ain't good. What you doing? And that do as I say shit, they're doing what they're not gonna do what you say because you're not doing it. So if I tell my daughter don't get in the car with that guy, but I see you coming home late every night with a different man, what do you think they're gonna do? They're gonna do exactly what you're doing. They don't care what you're saying to them. It's like me telling your kid go to college, but your ass dropped out.
Hell
So you
yeah.
can't really tell me what to do, mom or dad, if you didn't do it. They follow what you do. So if you're a drug dealer selling them things in the street, he's gonna be just like you until you show him something different. And if you're gonna be a whole mom and you're gonna sleep around, don't do that shit in front of her because she's gonna watch what you do and do the same thing, but worse. I'm talking to a girl right now that's 13 years old and pregnant. And her mama don't even know, but her mom knows that she sleeps around. Oh yeah, because mom brings the guys over. Do you know how that makes me feel? So this is not just things that I've seen. It's things that's going on right now. Right now. Well, I thought it was okay because I peeked in my mom's room and this is what I saw her doing. So I thought it was okay to have a man in my bed. Mommy does it. These are kids, guys. They're your kids. And you're letting
Yeah.
them leave out the house with a wig with baby hair. That's what makes me mad. I mean, Rainy, seeing a 7-year-old with a wig with baby hair, why? Is there something I'm missing? Or
No,
am I
hell
going too
no.
deep?
No, it's stupid. It's stupid and it's egregious. It's I don't know. I don't know who raised those women because I don't
The
understand
streets. The
the,
streets.
the streets. They for the streets.
Now, you said you had a daughter. Did she ever wear makeup? When was she allowed to wear makeup? Let me ask you that.
Look, when she took her photos for her masters, that's when I saw her put her makeup on last
Dang,
May.
okay.
Shit.
You said
That's when I
master.
saw
Okay,
her put
wait.
makeup on. Other than that, she put on mascara and lip gloss. I mean, she was a baller. She played basketball. She played
Same here. Yes.
volleyball. I, I I
Yes.
I didn't see her wear a lot of makeup unless she went to prom or it was something special. That's not what she did. So, we weren't excessive in those areas. It wasn't
Mm.
important. What I instilled in her is somebody's gonna love you because they love you for who you are, not all that other extra stuff. So
Well, I heard that. It looks like we have JT on. Let me add him on here. Hold on 1 second, Queen. JT, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay, go ahead, sir. You're not in no helicopter today, right?
No, I'm
Okay,
I'm
I
in
just
my
want to make
room right
sure.
now.
Okay, last time you was in the air, we couldn't hear you. Okay, go ahead, sir.
So when you was talking about having strict parents earlier, I actually came from a strict parent home, being my dad, because my dad was a single father of 8 kids. Just imagine raising 8 kids on your own.
Wow.
So
Okay.
so yeah, like he was constant, like before my little brother was born in 2020, like he was constantly like literally on me just to make sure that he pretty much wants the best for all of his kids, but especially me the most, being that me having autism and everything, and I wasn't on everyone's level on paper, but he kept tabs on everybody. He especially kept tabs on me too, especially in middle school and high school. High school being the most because I was very active. I was in athletics. I was also in the JROTC program too. So he basically set a huge curfew for me on what time I had to be home from all of my extracurricular activities. So he had to know everything. Like still to this day, I'm 24 years old. Like he still had to keep tabs on me. It is not to say that I'm actually doing something I ain't got no business doing because I'm not. Like, if I'm getting ready to go to work, I will constantly have to tell him, hey dad, I'm on my way to work, or hey dad, I'm about to go head somewhere or something like that. He'll say, okay son, be careful, XYZ.
Wow. So, I mean, you said they still check on you now. Like my dad doesn't do that now, of course. I'm married and stuff, but I love the fact that you grew up in a household like that. You don't see a lot of households like that where parents care. They feel like being their kid's best friend is the way to go. And I think that is the worst thing to do because they're going to see you as an equal. They're not going to see you as an authoritative figure that's going to say, no, no, no. So when you F up and do something bad, well, we on the same level. I thought I was your friend. Then you want to say, no, I'm the mom. It's too late then, you know? So thank you. Thank you for that, JT. I appreciate that. Thank you for your
Oh
input, sir.
no. No problem. And then given that my mother wasn't there for me for most of my life, like she didn't come back into my life until I started high school, like right around I would say about 13, 14 years old. I was about 13 when she came back into my life. Once I finished eighth grade, and she's saying that she wanted be the best mother I can be, and I was like, and
Hmm.
my but the first thing I want to ask my mother is like, where the hell were you my first 13 years? Because you last time I saw you, I was about 6 months old when you left.
Mm. And does that still
I
bother you
wanted
now?
not anymore, but growing up like all the way to almost my senior year in high school, like I literally had doubts that she was gonna show up to my senior graduation. Like I seriously
Hmm.
had doubts. But it put a huge smile on my face that my mother even saw me, walk up on stage in the first place. Like hearing her screaming off the top of her lungs and everything put a huge smile on my face. So that kind of took a huge doubt off my shoulders and everything. Now that me and my mother have a much stronger relationship now than what it was back then. Now that I'm able to I can communicate with all three of my parents, being my dad, my stepmother, and my biological mother now.
Wow. Well, I appreciate you for sharing that, especially something personal like that. Um, like I said, you got a lot of people that can sympathize with you and they know that what you're saying is real because they went through it. That's the whole point of this. So thank you for your words, okay?
Oh, no problem. And I still want you to know that like keep doing what you're doing. You're pretty much setting everybody on the right path. Whether it's holding people accountable or mentoring all the young women that's going through some of the absolute worst stuff. And I've also experienced a young lady. This is like all like right after I graduated high school that she had lied about her age. She told me that she was 19. So when I asked for her ID and everything, she saying that she hasn't gotten it yet, all the other stuff. So when I had ran into her mother, she had told me she was 12 years old. I was like, what?
Wow. So I hate to hear that, and you're probably gonna hear and see some more stuff as you go through life. But if you see something out there that ain't right, just speak up. A lot of people they turned a blind eye back in the day, and now we have to do something about it. We have to protect our kids, boys and girls, because you got boys too that are out there being pimped out as well. Oh, this is my handsome son. Yeah, and it goes both ways. But again, it all starts in the home. These behaviors are seen in the home first, and parents are not catching up on it, and that's why they're out here actually doing the actions, sleeping around. I mean, back in the day, you had the little hickeys when we were in high school. Oh, they French kiss. They called it macking. Oh, they was macking behind the bleachers. Little stuff. Well, now they effing. They effing behind the bleachers, and they're bringing
It's
in
going
babies at
around.
13. You got some schools that have a daycare attached for the. What the heck? They didn't have that when I grew up. Now these high schools have daycares off site for mothers, so they can still go to school. Like, what? What's going on, y'all? When did high schools have daycare centers for kids? These are all kids. How is that not child abuse? A 13-year-old getting pregnant. That should be child abuse. Why isn't it? Why aren't, I mean, come on, guys. I mean, I'm just saying, maybe I'm going too deep, but I think it's really sad when a 13-year-old is pregnant and she's not even a freshman in high school yet. What the hell is going on? How did we
Yeah,
fail?
I
She's
actually
not even fully developed yet. She could die.
I actually
She's
seen that
still
happen.
growing.
I actually
Yeah.
seen that happen in middle school. Right around my eighth grade year, it was a young lady that I had knew by the name of I can't remember her name, Marquisha. Yeah, she was pregnant in middle
Hold on.
school, and
Let's hope she's not listening. I don't want my page shut down now. Okay, so her name is Jane Doe. Say Jane Doe because I don't know who she is.
Jane
The girl
Doe.
you just mentioned. Okay, okay. I need
Yeah,
my page now.
yeah. I'm sorry, but I knew that young lady. Like Yeah, she got pregnant in middle school, and a lot of people had just, like made fun of her and everything. When like when she told me that she was pregnant, I literally I broke down and cried. Like I seriously, I broke down and cried because I was thinking to myself, it's like, what will her parents think about this? Like, do your mother or your dad even know that you're pregnant right now? That's what's going across my mind right now. I broke down and cried, the people that was laughing at her, I was thinking of, and this is not a joke. Like, we're not like a lot of us about to enter high school, and she's about to be an upcoming mother and everything, you know.
Right. I'm sorry that you had to experience that, but also glad that you were there for her. Like I said, it's first now. So JT, thank you for coming on and sharing your thoughts. I would like more women to get on this panel. I did put the link in the comments. And JT, come back again, okay?
Oh, I'm gonna always come back, but I'm about to go ahead and take me a nap
Go get you
because
some,
my
okay, and
boss
get you something to eat. We know the routine.
yeah, I'm actually thinking about going to go get something to eat right now. Maybe go grab a taco or something like that. I mean, but I'm probably gonna end up taking a nap first because I gotta be to work in about a couple hours from now.
Okay. Well, get you some sleep, and we will see you again on the next show, okay?
Of course.
Okay, thank you. Okay, it looks like we have Daquan. Daquan, can you hear me? Daquan? Okay, looks like Daquan can't hear me right now. I'm gonna mute you. Okay, Erica. Miss Erica, you there, hun?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you clear. Go ahead.
Hi. Yeah, I've been watching
Hi.
content for a minute now. I actually came across you from Articix. I talk to him from time to time. But yeah, going through this live, just listening to you for the past like 20 minutes. Yeah, I was talking about it earlier today on my Facebook page that a lot of these children that are growing up now are being, in my opinion, a lot of weird things have been being pushed on them as like growing up too fast with the beauty standards and even the sexuality, all of that stuff is a little too much for me. And the wigs and the way that they're dressing, and also when you go on TikTok and you see a whole bunch of parents videotaping their kids doing these wild things that they you can tell they're not mature enough to do at that age. It's really sickening, and it makes me really realize, it makes me wonder what's really going through these parents minds to think this is okay to have my child do this, and then go the extra mile to broadcast it to the world. Like that's weird to me. That's the reason why right now I'm 25. I'll be 25 this year. I'm holding back on having kids because I'm seeing how other people are raising their kids, and I don't want my kids to grow up around the kids like that. That's frightening, because if you have enough kids telling one kid, "Hey, do this," peer pressure is real. You know,
It
it's
is.
it's very real. So
Well,
it's sad. It really is sad how they're doing the kids right now. They can't even turn on Disney Channel without something being pushed on them.
yep, I agree. I agree, Miss Erica. And one thing I say to the girls I mentor, because I mentor about maybe I would say 11 girls and 12 guys. That's all those people. How I do it, I don't know. I'm a machine, whatever. But what I wanted to say to you is, don't let what you see online stop you from being a good mother to your kids. That's what
Mhm.
they do. That's how they are. Let them fuck up on their own, and that's just telling you what not to do. And when I share these things, because one thing people say to me, "Why'd you repost it? Why'd you just repost a little boy swinging from a pole?" Like as if it's not already out there in the atmosphere, right?
Right.
I'm reposting it because maybe someone that follows me didn't see it. The more we bring awareness to this, it tells you what not to do and what to look for, right? I'm kind of
Mhm.
giving you the blueprint on what to expect and how to, teach your kids to do better. But don't let that stop you. But one thing my dad told me is every generation is going to be worse than the last. That is so
Mhm.
true. It gets
Mhm.
bad every generation, but how you raise your child is how they will turn out. You're gonna have, you're still gonna have these social media platforms. You're gonna have these high tech phones. You're gonna have all this pornography out there. It's gonna still be there, but worse every generation. But it's how you raise your child. Like I'm not gonna say, people love Red Lobster's biscuits, right? So if somebody went on Facebook right now and said, "Ugh, them biscuits were nasty and they didn't cook it right," that ain't gonna stop me from going to get my biscuits. I'm gonna still eat them because my experience wasn't that, right? So
Right.
if you hear about someone saying, this is a bad mother and her kid was sleeping with, she allowed that to happen. You don't have to allow it to happen. Like I said, kids are only going to look at what you do and they're going to mimic it. That's why they say we're a sponge. When my dad said damn, I said damn too, but I got punished for saying damn. And then I knew at that point, I ain't going to say damn again.
Right.
So it's like we can still raise our kids to grow up and be successful and be, great individuals, but it's how you raise them. Now, you can't do nothing when they're in school. You're right. When they're in school, you can't do nothing. They're still doing crazy stuff at school too. That's the only time we won't be able to just sit with them and follow them. But if you treat them right and you teach them right at home, they ain't gonna do nothing bad at school because they know that they got a good parents at home that loves them and only wants the best for them. But one thing I tell my girls, stop saying that your daughter and your son are your besties. They're not. Because if you do that, they're gonna look at you like, okay, we friends then. All right, cool. So why was you smoking a blunt? Well, why are you mad? We equal. No, I'm your dad. I'm your mom. Oh, you said I was your bestie on TikTok. So what I'm saying is a lot of these women, they live through their kids as well. They hit the wall. They not getting the attention they like. So they bring their daughter on to shake her ass too in the video. See, they living through their children. And I think that's disgusting as well. When you got to pimp out your own daughter for a few likes and shares. That's pathetic. But yet society is like, oh, look at that mother and daughter. You can't even tell the difference. Who's the mom? Well, if the mom is only 35, come on, and the daughter is 20, of course they look like sisters. But our mothers, like my mom, she would be turning 55. So again, we support that type of stuff. We say that it's cute that the mother and daughter look like sisters, even though we know the mom had her at 12 or 15. Why are we supporting that? Why? And then now you got these girls saying, okay, I'm only 15. If I have a kid now, my kid, you don't think kids think like that? I'm gonna have a kid young too. I'm gonna follow what she's doing. Because that way we can be sisters. That's the trend. So why are we supporting this type of shit? Why are we doing that? You don't think a kid right now isn't thinking like, I'm 13. If I have a kid now, I'll only be 13 years older than my kid. Come on, guys. They're sponges. They're sponges. They're gonna mimic what they see. So thank you, Erica. Like I said, don't let that stop you though. You can change that narrative. You don't have to be what you see out there. Okay?
Yeah, I also want to put in about the I think I heard earlier about how you see a lot of single mothers, or not even single mothers. You see mothers acting like a single mother where they're not letting the father come around their children and thinking, oh, a man doesn't really bring any value to a child's life, when really, if you ask me, a lot of fathers are a lot more level-headed than mothers, especially when they're not on good terms when they procreated anyway. I just feel like it's better if they're going to co-parent, the father should probably have majority of the custody, because even in my own personal situation, if my parents were to have split up because they were toxic, I would have rather went to my dad's, and that's just that. So
and you know what, Erica, I love how you just threw that out there. I'm not saying that they're bad mothers, man. Please don't quote me on that. You got some damn good mothers out there. They're out there right now listening to this, like, nope, that ain't me, huh? But then you have those mothers who are so mad at the dad for moving on that she will keep the child from him. She knows that the child is all he has. For instance, I'm gonna bring this up. Kanye West. Y'all keep calling him crazy. But when y'all see him with his kids, you can see every tooth in his mouth. He's smiling from ear to ear. His kids are his medicine. And Kim knows that. She might be sleeping with Pete and divorced. They might do, but she knows what will hit this man in his heart. Take him from his kids. Or let's give North an 8-year-old TikTok. I know that'll piss Kanye off. Then when Kanye West goes off in his rant, oh, he's off his meds again. He's crazy again. No, he's crazy about his kids. He doesn't want his kids on social media. He doesn't want his kids exposed like that. Like Kim was tricked out. Like Kim and all since they were pimped out by their mom. Their mom was a pimp. That's what I call her. She's a pimp. Her mom made all these moves and knew what the outcome was going to be. Just like when she was married to Rob Kardashian, when he was, trying O.J. Simpson's case, who was in the stands with her? Bruce Jenner. Who did she end up getting with? Bruce Jenner. It was a calculated move, y'all.
Yep.
Kanye already knows what this family represents, and he doesn't want his kids being under that limelight. He wants them to love God first, and everything else will follow. But not Kim. Kim wants them in the limelight. At 8 years old with a TikTok says 13 is the minimum age. So, guys, Don't look at this man like he's crazy. He's very bright. He's just crazy about his kids. He will move next door to you just to see his kids, y'all. Stop painting this picture like this man don't love his kids when he does. Kim is a great manipulator and a fucking liar. So y'all need to start seeing them for what they are. Attention-seeking broads. They are attention-seeking broads who get all this surgery but still Photoshop shit. Somebody got their can you please put your phones on mute when I'm talking? Hold on, you guys. I'm sorry about that delay. Somebody had their phone off mute. Okay. So what I'm saying is people are looking at him like he's crazy and he's not. He loves his kids. He doesn't want North growing up fast. See, at 8 years old having a TikTok, that's moving too fast, y'all. Especially when TikTok is saying the minimum age for a child is 13 and we have a platform for that. So at the end of the day, don't look at this man like he's a psycho. He just loves his kids. When he's at games and you see his kid with him, he's happy. He's happy. So y'all don't look at patterns. Y'all just look at what Kim is saying and y'all just automatically believe this woman. And let's not forget, she's had the multiple failed marriages, not Kanye. So don't sit up here and blame him. You blame her. She's the problem at this point. And I'm going to keep saying that. I'm going to call it what it is. She's the fucking problem. And if she's listening to this, you the fucking problem. And I don't give a fuck how much money you make. You a problem, lady. Okay, who else is on? We got some more people that want to talk. Okay, hold on. Let me see who else. Okay, Daquan, you can unmute now, Daquan. Go ahead. Daquan, can you hear me?
Okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and
Thank you so much.
I got some things to do, but I just wanted to say that I really do appreciate the work that you put in. Everybody needs to hear what you got to say, and I feel bad for the people that have been trying to get you canceled. They are truly sick, but keep doing your work. I know you're gonna get through to people that need to be heard. So keep doing God's work.
Thank you, Queen. Well, thank you for your words. And like I said, if you want to talk to me outside of this too, reach out to me on Instagram. Okay, I would love to talk to you further. Okay.
All right. Good.
Okay, Queen. Have a good day.
You as well.
Okay. So, like I'm saying, you guys, I mean, at the end of the day, I just feel like mothers, you guys got to do better too. You got to do better because let those dads who want to be a part of their kids' life, let them be a part of their lives because they need that authority. They need the balance. They need mom and they need dad. They need both of you guys. I mean, it takes two to make a kid. So it shouldn't take one to raise a kid. It should be two. Okay, unless one is dead and gone. Then you can't help that. But you have a lot of dads that are fighting and scratching and pulling just to see their kid. Some of them that actually go to their kid's school, park out across the street from the school and watch their kid play in the yard because they can't see them. And they don't want to be spotted because they don't want the cops called. But they do that just because they can't see their kids in a regular. So when you hear about Kanye moving across the street from Kim, oh, he's a psycho. He just wants to be close to his kids, y'all. That's it. And y'all tell parents to fight. Then when they fight, you call them crazy. So you got to make it make sense. You got to choose one or the other, you guys. All I'm saying to these women out here, your daughters, your sons, they're not your best friends. They're not. Stop doing these TikToks, putting makeup on your 7 and 8 year old daughter, putting these big old spider looking lashes on her eyes and lipstick. She's my muse. Your kids should never be there. Come on. Their face is still everything. They're still developing, and you're clogging their skin up young. You're making them look like they're 15 and they're only 7. Why? You can't you can't go on TikTok and say, "Hey, I need to practice my makeup skills. I do your makeup for free." I mean, come on, ladies, stop making these excuses for being a piece of shit for a mother. Because I don't want to hear the shit. I don't want to hear that you didn't have both parents growing up. I don't want to hear that you had a rough life because you can grow from that rough life. That excuse won't work here with me. It's just like when you commit a crime. A cop's not gonna want to hear, well, back in the day, I wouldn't have done this, and I was hit on hard times. They're still gonna bring your ass in and charge you, right? So why should we treat you any differently? And then you got her friends that are encouraging the behavior. Yes, girl, y'all do look like besties. Why? Why are we encouraging this? How can we sit here and encourage a mother saying that her daughter is her friend when that's not the case? It's not. Y'all got to do better with how you raise your kids. And I'm seeing this more on the women's side. I actually had to block a few people because when I told them, why are you posting your 7-year-old daughter with all this makeup on? I was practicing. And you post a picture for what? You couldn't practice on your aunts? You couldn't practice on your friends that are women? I mean, who wouldn't want their makeup done for free? A grown woman. Who wouldn't want their makeup done for free? So you'd rather ruin your daughter's skin, right? Come on, y'all. Y'all know what I'm saying out here. Y'all know y'all seen that shit. Y'all know y'all got one friend right now on Facebook that you haven't even held accountable, but you see her posting that same bullshit every day. When are you gonna hold them accountable? What are you scared of? Of her blocking you? Okay, but at least you said what was right. Some of them don't hear that. They keep getting the claps and the likes and the shares instead of you saying, sis, this ain't right. Come on, sis. Now come on, that's a child. When are y'all gonna say that? Because that's what I do. Rainy, you still on, dear?
Yep, I'm still here.
So let me ask you this question. Your daughter, she doesn't have any kids, right?
No,
Okay. Now, your son either?
nope.
Okay. So when you were raising your kids, if either of them would have, either got pregnant or brought or told you, hey, I got this girl pregnant, how would you have handled that as a parent?
I probably would have cried,
You
but
being
I mean,
honest.
yeah, I probably would have cried first. But I thoroughly talked to them about protection if that was something that they were interested in doing. We talked to them about their future, me and their dad, um, because of course we didn't have them until we were married. So we definitely talked to them about the outcome of having kids prior to when you're ready. But had they come to us to tell us that was what was going on, we would just do what they felt like they wanted to do. Um, we can't make them do anything at that point, but it is what it is. I just would have hoped that if that would have happened, they would have done what was best for them in their future. So, I can't say because it didn't happen to me. I just am glad it didn't. I know some of their friends it did, and some of them decided not to move forward with the kids, and then some of them did. Their futures and their futures. Their lives turned out differently. My daughter says all the time, I'm glad you instill certain things in us. I'm glad were harder on us than some other parents. I just don't know what would have happened or what I would have done if that would have happened to me, because I actually did get pregnant with my daughter my senior year of college, and I thought I was gonna die. I just don't know what I would have done. Definitely, to be honest, I can't even answer that for you.
Well, I honestly think you did good with raising your kids, and you said the dad was there in the home too. You were married, so you did what most people don't do anymore. And I think that a lot of people are missing the point when we say you should be married first. Get to know if you don't want to get married to the person, fine. But why would you want to have an 18-year, you know, time with this person that you said you don't see a future with? What I don't understand with women, when I ask them, why don't you want to get married? I don't want that contract. But when you have a baby with this man that you don't like no more, you want to see him for 18 years, right? That's like a contract. You're forced now. Now you have
Hmm.
to share custody. Now you have to see him all the time for 18 years until that child is grown. So
And
you
we
would
and we
rather
did get
go
and we
ahead.
did get divorced. We did get divorced, and I did try to give them to him. But we were friends, and we still worked that out the best way for them.
But
We still do that to this day. But um, yeah, we tried to do the best that was for them. So
well, the point is they got to see you guys both in the household, and all marriages don't work, and that's a true statement. But you said something big. You said when we got divorced, we worked it out, and see that's the point. A lot of mothers don't want that. When they divorce the man, they're like, okay, not only are you divorcing me, but you're divorcing our child too. So you ain't gonna see him now. Now I'm gonna put you on child support. Now I'm gonna ruin your life if you move on. And that's what a lot of these women are doing instead of saying, you know what, let's be good parents. Let's co-parent the best we can. Because even if two people are not in the household, you can still raise that child to do right. You
hmm
can if you guys are both on the same page. And that's the thing. Parents don't want to be on the same page. So now they got to fight for custody and all these battles. I hated going to court seeing a dad lose his kid and him breaking down. Him having to be dragged out of court. Like, oh, that just strings. I mean, man, he really wanted to be there. And she
yeah,
created this big narrative. And like I said, women, I've seen a woman post a picture in the club, shaking her butt. Hey, had to go to court on Monday. Hey. Then she comes to court on Monday with a battered wig. The wig makes her look like she's this innocent, church going citizen. And we had to show the judge what she was doing 48 hours prior to this.
that's
But how
sad.
many people are going to save stuff like that? How many people are going to have those receipts? Again, I've helped people win cases off of receipts. When I tell people to text, 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 well, why do you get all these text messages? I tell people when you text, you can use that in court. That's electronic. That's like an email. You can use a text message. You see people on Force 48 get caught up in text threads. So
Mm.
don't. So I tell people a phone call, you have to tell them you're being recorded. So who's gonna tell you and slip up and say, yeah, you can see your kid if you stop seeing Tanika? They're not gonna send it over the phone, but they'll
Mm-mm.
say that shit through text, and now you have it saved. So that's why you see a lot of text threads for me. I've been doing this shit for years. I tell guys and women, save it. Text, 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 text. Because if they're texting, they're consenting. You have it. It's yours now. But you can't just do a phone call and record someone without their consent. That you can't use in court. That's inadmissible. But you can use text threads. So again, that's why you guys see so many text stuff from me. I get them all the time. So when people try to question, oh, that's not true. Well, this is like this and that. People try to look for stuff like that because they don't want to take accountability. So they'll say that I'm fake. They'll say that it's false. They'll say that I hate women. And that when I would tell them to show me where I hate women, they can never show me where I said I hate women. They just don't like accountability. And nowadays, accountability is hate speech on social media. You will lose your page. You will lose it all if you hold someone accountable. So, like I said, Queen, it's been a hard journey now because I just got off of a 30-day ban. All right.
I
So
saw
again,
that.
it's not easy for me telling, exposing these liars. But I learned that on YouTube, I've never been reported once yet. But on Instagram, I almost lost it. Twitter, I've had 5 reports. And last year on Facebook, half the year I was on a ban. So when people
Yeah.
say this shit ain't real and that my text transcripts and the Facebook posts are fake, why am I always on bans for that type of stuff for hate speech? Because either that person did it through another page or they sent their henchman to report me. I mean, who can be on a ban for hate speech if the shit ain't real? Who's reporting it then? Clearly,
Mm-hmm.
you think I'm reporting myself? You think I want to be on a ban for half the year? Okay, then we'll say that then. But you know the truth, Queen. You know what it is.
I do. I do. And I've been following you in a while. I've been following you a while and I appreciate it. Because oddly enough, my fiance now, he's going through that very same thing with his twins mom, with his her being accountable and her trying to keep his kids away from him. So that's actually what made me start following you. That accountability piece of, you know, just she's just so hateful. And she calls herself a preacher, ain't that something? But anyway, it's neither
And
here
then
nor
when you
there.
say accountability, that's like saying devil to them. They go crazy, don't they?
Yep, 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 yep.
I mean, thank you, Queen. Like I said, I love the fact that you shared that with me. You let me know a little bit about your life. I appreciate you. And it seems like we share the same views. So I
We
really do
absolutely
appreciate you for
do.
coming on. Thank you so much, Queen.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And you can still hang on because I'm asking more people to come on before we wrap up. I
I
do
will.
want more ladies to come onto the panel. If you if you didn't like me at one point or you still don't like me today, come on the panel. Like I said, I would love to know why you don't like me so we can fix it because a lot of people don't like me for reasons that are beyond me. If you don't like me because I'm holding women accountable, let's talk about it. Because I always tell people if you see men doing some crazy stuff, tag me in it. But y'all never tag me because you won't see it. I don't see this going on TikTok and Facebook and Instagram with men. It's women that are posting it. And one of the big things that I do hate that people say to me, mind the business that pays you. Because I say it too sometimes. But when you post something online and it's public, you're allowing people like me to be in your business. So if you make a public post that someone touched you and then I try to help you and it turns out you lied, now I'm in your business. So those 18,000 shares you got, that wasn't 18,000 people sharing some business that had nothing to do with them, right? That you made public. So I don't want to hear that shit. If you don't want anybody in your business, stop posting it public. But you post it public for the clout. Then when you get exposed for the clout, now it's you're in my business. Now I'm snitching. Now I'm making it up and I hate women. No, I don't like liars. I'm not gonna say I hate liars because that's a strong emotion. I don't hate anybody, but I will call you out because too many of these women are lying out here on their age, on everything, and they're not being held accountable. Now, a child, I can't hold a 13, 14-year-old child accountable. I'm gonna hold a mom if she's in her custody. If she's in dad's custody, I'm gonna hold him accountable. But like I said, I don't know too many dads. I can't tell you one right now that would allow his child to go out the house with a wig and makeup, piercings. I don't know too many dads. These dads will kill for their daughters. They will beat the brakes off of a kid for their daughters. So why would they let their daughters leave at the house with a mini skirt on and they're only 13? I don't see that. But if you see it online, tag me. but I can share these 40 videos, and y'all would be disgusted. Like I said, these videos that I get, they're already online, folks. So don't tell me not to be in people's business when they're sharing it online to be their, our business. Because I'm gonna use it. If no one had anything to share online, I wouldn't have any content. So again, where do you think I get my content? I get it from online. So this doesn't fall from the heavens, guys. Okay. Let me see. BSP, did you have a couple of
Hey
words? If you
Daphne,
can keep it brief. Hey,
it's been a long time.
it has. What's up?
Yeah. So yeah, I've been a little busy anyway, but I've been listening to you for like 20 minutes, and I think you said everything on point about raising your children right. But I'd like to touch on a few things about raising a children. Most of the parents, they kind of underestimate their children. They I'm not an expert. I'm speaking on my experience on how I was raised, and me and my brother. First of all, we are from a different culture. Indian parenting system works differently, but there are certain things which is also quite common, right? For example, raising a children, most of the parents, they kind of focus only on in the maturity of the child, which is fine, I guess, but you also have to touch the creativity of the child as well. Child may not be mature as an adult, but the child is one of the most creative beings. I mean, the you can tell the child what is right or wrong. He may or may not listen depending on how much matured that child is. But the best way, I think, in my opinion, to raise a child is to lead them by example, because that's how they learn. you know Same way about what you just gave an example of, a parent who, what she was doing, she was filming her child swinging around a pole,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
That is wow. I mean, what kind of world we're living in now? That is really appalling, really. So that's why you have to lead the child by example, because the child usually absorbs information by observing its surroundings. So that's why you have to lead the child by example.
Very
the,
true.
the child Yeah, child may or may not listen, because the child may not understand the meaning or the purpose behind your advice or the word that's coming out from your mouth, but the child will learn more by observing. So you have to show them something. So you have to show them some examples, lead them by examples. Like me, for example, my parents are married 40 years and they're still going strong. They did a great job raising me and my brother. But my father also had a kind of a bad habit. He was a smoker, actually. So I was 10 years old. I don't know that smoking is bad for your health. All I see is cloud coming out from your mouth and kind of look cool. I don't know that, it's bad for your health. But at that time, I could not smoke. So what I did was I kind of roll up a paper and put in my mouth and pretend to be smoked, like, like a playing game. And one day my mom sees me doing that, and I presume she had a long chat with my dad that day. I didn't see it, but next day, dad came up to me and he's like, "What did you do? I mean, why are you putting that thing in your mouth?" I said, "Because I saw you, dad." So he did something long talk. I don't remember much, but all I know is that from that day, I was 10 years old, mind you. From that day, my father never smoked. He quit smoking.
Well,
This
you
was when
definitely.
I was 10, 11 years old. Now I'm 30 years old. I've never seen him smoke. So that's how
Wow.
that should be, you know?
I agree. Thank you so much for your words. I have to let this guy Daquan get on now and speak, but thank you, BSP, and I know you'll
Yeah,
be on more future shows. Okay.
sure. I'll try.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Sounds good. Daquan, you there?
Can you hear me, Daphne? I made sure I fixed my mic.
Yes.
So,
You
all
did it.
right,
Yep, I can hear you. What's up?
all right. If third time doesn't fix the charm, I don't know what will. But good afternoon. I just wanted to jump on real quick because Auto Cakes actually uploaded a screen feed of one of your recent videos that you had screenshotted, and I've been following him for a minute, but he's been putting me on, telling me go to her page, go to celebrities page. She's cool as hell. But more or less, I've just been studying most of the content that you've been uploading in. To be honest, it's the 100% truth. Like far as I'm not trying to go back to the Kim K situation, but Kanye is a good father at the end of the day. He loves his kids just like you said. Anybody coming between him and his kids is gonna have to have World War III on their hands. And that's just another
That's right.
example far as the stigma that women use to not only manipulate men either for a check or some type of government aid or whatever the situation may be, but it's mainly used to weaponize, and that's not cool. Because if the roles were reversed and we were looking at this a du- um from a double standard, men wouldn't be looked at the same way that women are if they're gonna be put in that scenario. Picture me going to put my baby mother on child support hypothetically, and I'm taking care of the child and I'm providing for it, but she's running the streets, not being a parent, not wanting to be a mother, just completely abandon the responsibility altogether. Am I supposed to be the bad person actually trying to get the funds needed to help provide for our child? But see, courts won't see it that way. They'll think maternity belongs to the mother 95% of the time, and that 5%, us men have to fight literally hand, tooth, and nail just to try and get our rights, and that's not cool. So for that aspect alone, this is just a lot of there's just a lot of negativity or revolved around that, and I just don't like it. Level of accountability has to be raised, and by all means, you're speaking the truth. These women need to get put on blast and don't get upset at the content that you post because basically it's fair use. If you put it up for the world to see, don't get mad when somebody's actually commenting on
That's right. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for getting on and saying your piece. And just know that, I'm trying to bring as much awareness as I can so that more people can stand up, especially for men who are really trying to be in their child's lives. So thank you. Thank you so much for your words. Okay.
it. I appreciate you, Daphne. I'll keep following and y'all stay safe. Have a good day and stay blessed.
You too. So, like I said, you guys, I know that there are some girls who are developing a lot quicker than other girls, and you can't stop that. You can't, but you can still protect your child. So don't use that as an excuse to add a wig and makeup to make it all one complete package. Now you're rushing the process. Now you're making her grow up too fast. She can still be a little girl with pigtails like every other girl out there. And like I said, even with the picture I shared of myself at 14, I'm already getting people in my inbox. Damn, you was ugly. That's I'm okay with that. I was a child, 14 years old, and I don't think I was supposed to look like a Betty or a dime piece at 14. So I'm perfectly okay with the insults on my looks that I was 14. I'm not 14 today. So, and I was okay with being called names. I was a tomboy. I played ball. So, of course, I didn't know how to do makeup and none of that stuff. But I just wanted to bring awareness that you do have a lot of these parents out here that are just allowing and they're aiding the process and their kid growing up too fast. Let kids be kids. Y'all remember when we were kids and we were like, I can't wait to be 18. Then we turned 18 and we was like, damn, I should have waited. So we don't have to rush our kids to grow up. We don't. Let them be kids and stop acting like you don't know your kid and you don't know what they're doing outside of them doors. I know you heard rumors. I know you've seen things, but you're not addressing those things. You can address them. You can. You have some kids that have two phones. You should know how many phones your kid has. Like I said, I know you can't be in their life every second. When they're at school, they can do what they want. But see, when I was at school with so and so's kids and so and so's kids. And if I did something wrong, they would tell their parent told my dad. It was a world effect, you guys. There's ways that you can find out what your kid is doing even at school. Ain't no excuse. My dad was the type of person that would tell my teacher, she acts up, here's my number. You can call me. And they probably had to call him once in the 4 years that I was in high school. So again, and that was my freshman year, I was bad. But what I'm saying, guys, is we can stop this behavior from happening if we see something and we say something. Y'all all know somebody right now on your Facebook or Instagram or TikTok that's doing way too much, and you guys entertain it. If you're watching it and not saying anything, you're entertaining it and you're supporting the behavior. I can't watch and not say nothing. If I have a way of figuring out who the person is, if I get the Facebook link to the page, I'm gonna do what I have to do because I have to make sure that kids are safe. Our kids are the future, and if you allow them to get away with the things they're doing because their mom's not holding them accountable, they're gonna turn out to be reckless. That's what happens. I know y'all all know someone right now that has a child that is too young to be having kids right now. And I think 13, 14 guys, like they're still growing up, you know? So if your kid has a kid at 13, 14, you failed them. You failed them, and it should be child abuse. They should be taken out of your custody. That's just me. Maybe I'm being too harsh, but I mean, come on, guys. There are patterns that your kid will exhibit. If you don't know your kid's patterns and you don't know when they're having a bad day or when they're mad, then you're not a good parent. Because my dad knew when my bottom lip hung out, I was mad. If I was secretive, he come up, he hear me moving, I was doing something sneaky. My dad knew stuff like that. I mean, it doesn't take you don't have to go through 10 years of parenting to know when your kid's hiding something. You just have to be observant. Watch. You watch everything on social media. You know when Kim K's about to make a post. You know when that new makeup is about to drop, that new wig is about to drop, but you don't know your kids? Come on, people. What are we doing? What are we doing? Like I said, you know the basic shit, you know? So all I'm saying is do better. And if you think I hate women because I'm telling them to do better, then I don't care. If you look at all my content, the videos, 90% women. How do you think I got it? You think the videos are fake too? They're not. They're real. TikTok won't report someone who allows their 5-year-old son to swing from a pole, but they'll report me for exposing someone lying about sexual assault. Make it make sense, TikTok. Make the shit make sense. So the truth gets banned, but a 5-year-old swinger from a pole with his legs open, that is acceptable. That's the world we live in today, you guys. I can't even show the person's name if it's public. I still can't show the name. Even if you go to her page and see identical, what I just posted that she posted identically, I'm gonna still get banned and shut down. So again, sometimes you got these platforms and you got these pages and you got people that are just out to get you. They want to silence you for 30 days and for, you know, forever. And I'm doing the best that I can to bring awareness, you guys. That's all I'm doing. You know, like I said, at the end of the day, a 14-year-old should look like a 14-year-old. Now, if they have a illness where they're losing their hair, there are wigs catered to kids. I've seen it. I've seen kids in the cancer ward where they have 2 pigtails and you think it's their real hair and it's a wig. So don't tell me that the only wigs they got for a 14-year-old is a wig with bangs. That's a damn lie. There's too many wigs out there, y'all. Too many wigs. So unless they have a condition, don't be putting no wigs and weaves and all that on their hair. What are you doing? They're kids. I can see the little braids, little brandy braids. Okay, when we were kids, we all had braids, but they shouldn't have no pink braids going down to their ass at 7. What are you doing? What are you doing? The braids we had growing up, they didn't go down to our ass. My dad didn't even like me to have braids that hung. He didn't even like that. He didn't like me to be able to shake my braids like I was doing a music video. He didn't even like that. My dad was that strict. Cut him some more, cut him some more. That's how my dad was. But now you got these young girls wearing these pink braids that go all the way down to their ass. How is that allowed, guys? I mean, what they do that at? Why would a mom think that that's okay? Because her daughter wanted it? You ain't got to give her everything she wants. Say no. It's okay to say no. It is perfectly okay to say no. Well, I don't want to hurt her feelings. Who the fuck? You the parent. What you mean you don't want to hurt her feelings? My dad hurt my feelings a lot. Can I go to that party? No. That was the end of that. I hear say, you want a party? He'll give me a mop and a bucket. Go mop that floor. There's a party in the hallway. That's how my dad was. There were some times where he said no. But these parents say, well, if I say no, she's going to run away. Then send her ass to boot camp. Send her ass to boot camp or send her to her dad. And I guarantee you, that's boot camp too. You heard that girl on the phone. You heard her. She said, I would rather be with my dad. My mom didn't even stick to her punishments. See, because they start getting all sad and, oh, she's a girl. Let me let her out of groundation 3 days early. Not my dad. When we were in jail, we were in jail. When you were grounded, you were grounded. My dad stuck to his shit. He did. No matter how many times you come out and let him know you still in there, you still in there. You still grounded. Like I said, I know nowadays you can't beat the crap out of your kid like we got beat growing up, but take away their phone, take away that tablet, shut off the Wi-Fi. If you shut off that Wi-Fi, that's equivalent to an ass whooping for us back in the day. They'll go nuts if they ain't got no Wi-Fi. I guarantee you they'll go nuts. Take their game systems away. That'll hurt their pride. See, that's how you have to do now. We went from whooping ass with switches to having to turn off the Wi-Fi, y'all. That's where we went with it. Turn off the phone. Get the phone line suspended. Or control it to where she can only dial home. That's it. Come on, y'all. They got all these parental settings on phones and stuff now that y'all not even utilizing. You know what they're doing if you did that. Give them a phone where you know where they're at. You have the app where you can track them. If you got to be that type of parent, be that type of parent. But stop trying to be nice. I'm going to give her this nice iPhone. I know she's going to be fine. Now she has a TikTok. Now she's busting it open. And you don't even know about it. Like I said, it's too easy now to find out what they're doing than it was back then. Because back then they didn't have trackers. You had pagers. When I paid you, you got 5 minutes to get to the nearest payphone. We ain't got to do that now. You ain't got to do that now at all. So there's no excuse for you not knowing what your kid is doing. There's no excuse at all. And if your kid is that bad and the dad isn't an option or the grandma isn't an option, then you send their ass to boot camp. I guarantee you they'll come back refreshed. If they're in boot camp, you ain't got to worry about nothing. They'll learn that under your roof, they did have it easy when they go to boot camp. I've seen kids get sent to boot camp. The best part was when the guy would show up in his uniform saying, "I'm here for you. We are at lunch." She come to get him during lunchtime. Let's go. That's what you get. So like I said, they have ways of correcting these kids now to scare them back into to doing right. You can't beat them, but you can take away things that you know is going to make them, hurt a little bit. That phone is like a woman's, that's like a purse. So if you got a daughter with a phone and she's acting up, turn off the Wi-Fi, take the phone. If she ends up getting another phone, you'll know about it. If you're a good parent, you'll know. See, parents usually go in their kids' rooms when they're in school or when they're not home. You check stuff. You look at patterns, look at things. I mean, come on, God. It's not hard, y'all. Some of y'all only got one kid and you can't even control that. How? Hey, Rainey, did you have anything else to say, dear?
No, I didn't.
No questions at all?
Nah, no questions for me.
You said it's a party in the kitchen. Do those dishes. Oh yeah, that was the party
yeah.
I hated. I hated those after parties, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
But you want to go outside? Okay. Since we speaking about grab them gloves and go pull the weeds. Am I talking about myself? Who else didn't go through a life like that? That was our life, right?
It was absolutely our life.
They don't even go outside now. They own the game systems and they own Facebook all day from home. They don't even want to go outside and play like we used to. They don't even do that no more. And then they also have dating apps. They're coming out with these new ones that parents don't even know about. And these girls are lying about their age. They're doing their makeup, making their profile, and their moms and dads don't even know what's going on. But if you were in that phone, you would know. Like I said, they got phones now where you can put parental controls. If they go to certain sites, you can block certain sites. And if they go to them, you'll get an alert and it'll tell you. You'll know what they were doing. Some of us, you have to do it. It's not just for them. It's for you're protecting everyone as a whole. You're making sure that they're safe. You're not trying to track every breath they take. But nowadays, you got to do that because these predators, man, they get a text and they will take your child because you weren't paying attention. Like I said, so this show was more about the mothers because I saw some stuff and I was upset. That mother who posted her 13-year-old child looking so innocent, like nothing has ever happened bad in her life. But then you showed me a picture of her tongue out with a wig on and all this makeup. She didn't look 13 anymore. She looked like a grown-ass woman. These girls shouldn't be trying to be the next Kylie Jenner at 13. If you love makeup, that's wonderful. Finish high school and then we will get you into beauty school. But you don't have to have them wear makeup in school at 13 and 14 because they love it. So if they love makeup, great. Go get them some chapstick and lip gloss. That's what my dad did. Oh, you love makeup? Okay. But you're not going to get no contour kit at 13. Hell no. Y'all don't got to do everything they ask y'all to do. You don't. Put your foot down in that household. Stop letting your daughter sneak out and check their backpacks because they put in the outfit that they ain't gonna let you see them in the backpacks. That's what they doing. That's the biggest hustle. Y'all don't know that hustle? Y'all don't know no chicks that would come to school, looking like they 12 years a slave. Then they come out the bathroom looking like a hot girl. I knew girls like that in high school, and I knew exactly what they was doing. So if parents don't know nowadays that they putting the outfit in their backpack, then y'all really ain't doing good as parents. That's the biggest hustle. I seen that all day long. See, I never did it, but I remember one of my friends, she did it. And I told her I wouldn't do that if I was you. Oh no, my mom ain't gonna find out. As soon as she got to school, changed, and came out the bathroom, her mom was right there. So you don't think nobody told? These teachers don't owe you no loyalty. Some parents will say, look, this is my child. I know she has this class, that class, that class. Let me know if anything's different. Teachers snitch too. They will snitch. Well, yep, she had on a skirt. Well, man, she left out with some pants on. Okay. So she's sneaking around. So parents, there's ways you can do it. Teachers will definitely let you know if there's something off. They will. They will snitch. They owe no loyalty to your child, but they will tell you what they're doing. So when you say, I don't know what they're doing at school, you can find out. Y'all just lazy. You lazy as shit. You find out when the next makeup line is coming out, but you can't find out about your kid. You don't even go to parent-teacher conferences no more, right? It's too much for you. It's boring, right? So of course you don't know what the fuck your kid's doing at school because you don't go. See, all I'm saying is there's ways where you can be a better parent, and I don't have to have kids to tell you that. Working for the state, I've seen it. And it's just that nowadays, if you don't want to take care of your daughter and you're lazy, let her go with her dad. Balance it out. If she's giving you a headache, tell the dad. I guarantee you, he gonna be different. He's not gonna let her get away with shit. He knows all the tricks and trade. He knows it all too. He knows that, oh yeah, dad, this is my boyfriend. And he looks all innocent, but the real boyfriend is the one that's in the car waiting. That's the hustle too. These parents know this already. And if you're not telling the dad what she's doing at home, he ain't gonna know. Allow that dad to be an authoritative figure in her life. Let him put his foot down. She needs that. She needs it. Hold on, who do we have on here? Oh, okay, y'all. So it looks like my husband is on here, and I'll let him finish up and say a couple things, and then we're gonna wrap up. Hold on 1 second, babe.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Hey, babe.
Hey, how you doing? I was listening to your show for a
Everybody,
little bit. No,
the
go ahead.
husband is on. Go ahead, babe. Sorry.
No, I was just coming in to say a few words for a little bit. I was listening to your show with a couple of guys here at work, and you made up some great points. Your guest and everybody made up some great points. And like we were talking about yesterday, the times have changed, like how raising kids is compared today. Back then you were able to listen to your granddad or your dad or your mom. They tell you one thing, and that one thing was final. You didn't have no back talk, no back lip or whatever. And it's like nowadays, kids have so much access to social medias and just different things now to where it's kind of hard to not let alone trust them, but to want to give them that freedom to be a kid, and it's a tough situation now for kids. I gotta say, but for me personally, I don't play that shit when it comes to my nieces. If there's grown men in a conversation talking, I mean, hey, you stay out the room, you gonna mind your business, But at the same time, when it comes to these men, it's kind of hard to treat these men like we do these women because if you discipline these young men nowadays, the first thing they want to do is go out to the streets because they feel like they're respected by the streets more than they are to your parents or to that adult that they're familiar with. So it's a tough situation or a touchy situation, I should say, when it comes to disciplining these women now and these young men. But I definitely agree with a lot of you guys with what you were saying, and it's going to be a long ways to these parents to really evolve and get in their kids' lives as far as like mentoring them what's right and what's wrong, and at the same time as parents we have to put our foot down and say, hey, look, this is what it is. This is what you're going to do. If you don't like it, hey, you can go to boot camp like you were saying earlier, like y'all were discussing earlier. Do the boot camps, do those different type of things. But it's just like I said, I always go back to the men because it's just different because me being a man myself, it's just kind of hard being on men the way we want to be on men because like they said, the only thing they can do is go straight to the streets. And they feel like, okay, if my dad or my brother or my uncle, my whoever doesn't want to show me this love, I'll go to the streets and get it. And that's why I always say it's kind of tough like discipline the women and compared to the men. But you know, it all goes hand in hand. I feel like a lot of these women are growing up a lot faster than what they should be, especially compared to back in the days. But again, women were doing it back in the days too. You know, so it's just getting a lot more different ways where these young kids are just growing up faster than what we were back in the day.
Thanks, babe. I appreciate you sharing your thoughts.
No problem. I'll call in.
Thank you,
You know,
babe.
next. No,
No, go ahead. You say you're calling.
no. I just wanted to, put in my 2 cents. But like you ladies said, I mean, these little girls nowadays, hey, like you don't know what to do with them. It's like a ticking time bomb. You know, like you don't know what to expect from them. A lot of them get sassy and talk back to you. All of them act grown. It's,
Mm, mm,
I'm just glad I don't have any daughters.
mm.
I'm just glad.
Or sisters, right?
I'm glad I don't have any daughters or sisters. So
And you were raised in a household, three boys, correct? You had your mom
three
and dad
boys.
in the house. Okay, that's
Yep.
good. No sisters. So, do you think you would have been able to function if y'all had a sister?
We would have been able to function, but it definitely would have been a lot different because I know how my older brothers treated me as a young boy, as you know, as a young brother. And I
Uh
can't
huh.
imagine just having a younger sister or even a middle-aged sister because it definitely would have been hard for her because of how we treat each other. Like we definitely stay on each other, and we definitely would have been on her and anybody that she would have been involved with.
Oh yeah,
You know, so
I
she
believe it.
definitely would have had a hard life growing up.
Wow, that's how brothers are. Well, thank you, babe. Thank you for sharing. I know you're about to get off work, so go ahead and clock out. Bring your ass
No,
right
I'm
here.
gonna be here for a little minute. We're a little
Oh
tied up,
no.
so.
Oh no. I have a tracker. Don't play with. I'm just playing, babe. Just playing. Okay. Thanks, babe. Well, I'm about to wrap up. So thank you, love.
Okay, I enjoyed your show, and I look forward to our show next week if we still gonna have it.
Yep, we are.
All right, I'll see you later.
Okay. Love you.
All right, love you.
That was a husband, y'all. Y'all heard it from him. Like I said, it was him and his brothers. So, like I said, you guys, we just got to do better. I know a few of you guys said that you would have gotten a fat lip. Oh yeah, my mom had a good right hand. So whenever I disrespected her, she did punch me. You know, she was tough. My mom was tough. You know, and that little bit that she did for us with her life on earth, what my mom taught me to be a good woman, and she didn't want me to repeat her mistakes. And even though I did repeat them at the beginning with my mouth, I used to cuss men out. So when it comes to accountability, people used to tell me, well, were you loud? Were you crazy? Yeah. When I lost my mom, I lost my grandmother the next year on my mother's birthday, and then my uncle committed suicide. I went through all that in high school. Okay. um I was really good at basketball. I was so good at basketball, I would play with the guys just so I can get better. I didn't even like playing with females. I like to play with the guys because they challenged me. I was so good at basketball. I played varsity my sophomore year, junior year. My senior year, me and my coach, we didn't click because when my mother was alive, I would miss practice sometimes because I had to tend to my mother. My mother couldn't move anything from the neck down. So she needed all of our care and our love. And my dad didn't want her going off to a hospice. So we took care of her. My coach didn't like that. She accepted it my sophomore, junior year. But then my senior year, I guess she had enough of me because, me and her bumped heads for all that time. When my mom passed, I was closed off, but I still gave her the best game I can give her, right? Um, I still worked on my game, but I knew my coach, me and her were just not going to get along. So she took basketball away from me my senior year. So that was like another death because she knew basketball was all I had. She knew that that was something that I looked forward to. When she took basketball away from me, I became a villain. I was cussing people out. You a bitch, he a bitch, your daddy's a bitch. My mouth became outrageous. I'm surprised I lived. I'm surprised nobody shot me or killed me because I had a mouth that was worse than a dude saying the words he would say. So playing basketball with men, if I crossed them up and made them fall, I would call them a bitch. Get up, bitch. That's how I was. And I was like that for a whole year. I was just rude, disrespectful. And it took another man to take me to the side and tell me, you have an ugly mouth. You're like a dude out here. And that's why they want to beat you up. That's why they want to cut you. When he said that to me, I didn't realize that I had power in my tongue. I didn't know I could talk to a man with such, force and make him want to kill me. But the only reason why they didn't is because they respected my family. They knew what I went through. So it took another man to tell me to take accountability for not playing basketball my senior year, for going through everything I went through and learn from it. So when he told me to take accountability, I changed how I spoke to people. and I had to ask for forgiveness because people hated me because of my mouth, and I didn't want to hear what no one had to say because I was always right. In my mind, you can't tell me shit. So, when that man told me to take accountability and grow from it, I started coaching men's basketball. I started thriving. I started doing better. And that same coach that took basketball away from me, she apologized to me years later for taking that away out of spite because she didn't like me. And she ended up passing away. But I got a chance to say I forgive you before she passed away. So you never know who comes into your life and who's going to help you and who's going to make you a better person. So, a lot of us don't take accountability. My coach did. She took accountability for taking something from me that I would never get back. And she admitted, I was jealous of you because I was really good at what I did. And I felt like she didn't know how to coach me or coach the team. So I would add in some stuff for her, and she didn't like that. She told me the truth. I didn't like how you would give me tips that I needed, but I wasn't going to let you know that because you were in high school and I was the adult. She took accountability, y'all. So again, it's all about learning from your mistakes. It's all about growing from your mistakes. And ladies, you can change everything that's going on right now at this point. If you have a daughter that loves makeup, you're going to have to take that away from her. She might cry, but let her cry. Let her be a kid. Let her have those rough, bushy eyebrows. Let her have lip gloss on her lips. It don't have to be pink, red, or, black. You don't have to do that. You don't. There's no need for all that. You have to start treating your daughter like a child and not your best friend. She's not your best friend. You are the mother, she is the child. So if you continue to do that behavior, don't get mad when CPS is knocking on your door. You can't get mad at that. You brought them to your door with how you treat these teachers, they snitch too. You know what? This girl shouldn't be wearing all this makeup. She shouldn't be wearing these thongs. I can see it through her pants. It shouldn't be that way, you guys. And some of these teachers are perverts too. So you have to start at the house, how she leaves, what she wears. If you're a parent and not a friend, she will open up to you. She would. But if you're treating her like a friend, she's gonna hide things from you because you guys are on the same level. You guys can do this. I really do feel like you guys can do it. And I want to say thank you guys so much for being on this panel with me today. I appreciate your time. I will be doing the show on the 23rd about divorce because a lot of these women, they want a good man, but 90% of women are initiating divorce. And it's not because of infidelity. Infidelity is not number one on that list. So we're going to go into these high divorce rates because y'all all want a good man, but when shit gets tough, they get a little depression, get a little mental disorder, y'all run into the next dick. That's not for better or worse. That's not for sickness and health. See, y'all want a perfect man with no flaws. Because then when them flaws come out, then they expose you for being a fake person. You didn't marry him for the love, you married him for the status, the money. What comes with the marriage? $30,000 wedding, $10,000 ring, just to be married for a couple of months, right? Because he got sick. Y'all not with these men for sickness and health. You're there just for the happiness and the money, and that's it, to make yourself happy. And that's why the divorce rates are higher. Women are initiating that shit, not men. That says a lot. Y'all the same ones saying that men ain't shit and there ain't no good men out there, but you guys are divorcing them when things get tough. You should never divorce a man because he has he's bipolar. He has depression. He has one leg. He lost an eye. Those are not reasons to divorce someone. Infidelity, absolutely you can divorce. But stop making it seem like infidelity is the top of that list when it's really finances and health and growing apart. How the fuck can you grow apart? Any man you get with, it's going to be fine the first few months. You're going to be on a roller coaster, but then you're going to hit those dips. That's in any relationship. So quit saying that y'all grew apart when really you've exhausted all the possibilities to making each other happy. You can still do things to bring back the fire in your marriage, but divorce shouldn't be number one, y'all. So that's going to be the next show on Wednesday, and we're going to dive into it. And we're going to talk about the truth, and I'm going to come with facts. So again, thank you everybody for listening today. If you guys have an idea for another show, I want to talk about it. I will be doing one with my husband because people keep asking me, how'd you meet him? How does he deal with you? And the death threats and all that. And I want him to be able to tell you guys what he goes through with me because he supports everything I do. And we're going to do that show too down the road. But if you guys have any other ideas for a show, I want to do that. I do have about 5 people who just inboxed me saying that they don't like me. I'm gonna do a show for the haters. I want all my haters to come onto the show and tell me why you don't like me so that we can talk about it. I mean, why say it in the inbox when you can say it out loud, right? So I do want to do things differently, and I'm gonna be that podcast that does things very different than other people. If anybody needs any mentoring help or counseling or help with life, inbox me. It's celebrity, the same name as my YouTube. Hit me up on IG and we'll set up a time where I'll call you and we'll talk. Other than that, I hope you guys have a blessed Saturday. Stay safe and just know that I hold both people accountable, men and women. Okay, I'm not just strictly women. It's just that women, they're doing more stuff than men, but I hold both accountable. So stay strong, you guys. I love you guys all and have a great day.